All right, we're good. All right, 3, 2, 1. Hey guys, what's going on? And welcome to episode 213 of the KBMOD podcast. It is November 8th, 2015, and yeah, we're here doing a little bit of TVM hotline in case you would miss the pre-show if you're an audio listener, and if you don't know what TVM is, we actually won't tell you, but it involves the words trans and vaginal and mesh. That's all you need to know. But this is
you
just
leave the last word out for some reason.
That's true. But I'm using this as a tool to get the audio listeners to actually listen live, because I'm sure that little tidbit really will get them here, and you can actually hear our conversations before the show. We had some very good questions about TVM from some people in the chat as well. So, but yeah, so we've got Fenton. Fenton's back after a little hiatus. We've got Tim on the cast. We've got Katie Zen, and of course the lovely Brandon hosting, who you also can't see tonight or today if you're listening to the audio version, but he's wearing a shirt that is the exact color of the blue used for the KBMOD graphics for the podcast. So
I'm glad that you told the people listening that.
I'm just trying to give them a picture because I know that they're.
I could just kind of I can become part of the overlay.
You pointed out that they can't see Brandon, but
the shading
they
is
also
not quite
can't
right.
see anybody else.
That's true. Yeah. Well, that does involve all of us. But Brandon, if you stood up right now, yeah, and just blocked off the camera, it would be perfect. It would
Yeah.
Do it, please, Brandon. Please.
Almost as I get close to the screen, it's a little closer.
I'm waiting for that stream delay.
Yes. Oh, yeah. It's a little bit delayed. But all right. So what's been going on this week, gentlemen? Let's do a quick check of our exciting lives that don't involve video games. Did anybody do anything they would like to share this week?
No.
Nick, you've been gone for a couple weeks. I'm sure you have
last week I was gone for Hard Day of the Dead. That's why I was gone.
Oh yeah, that's right.
What is that?
It's a music festival, not a rave. Definitely not a rave. It's a festival, not a rave. It's different. Means there's less drugs, I think.
That's right. No, they have to. Well, tell them why they say that though, or give the people the background.
Well, I don't know. Isn't that the reason? Because you can't say rave in Well, I think especially around L.A. There's
It's because of the L.A. area.
The county doesn't want raves there. But if you label it as a music festival and you put a couple rappers on this rave lineup, it suddenly becomes a music festival.
Yeah, exactly.
So what is the drug what is the drug threshold for becoming a rave?
Well, I don't think there's any drug threshold for a rave. I think the rave is just categorized by the.
I think you have to
music.
have at least 15 cuddle puddles per acre.
Jesus, I don't think I've ever cuddle. You see cuddle puddles every once in a while, but not it's not oh man, half the dance floor is taken up by people sitting on the ground cuddling each other. Just I've never seen a really solid cuddle puddle. It's usually just
Cuddle puddle.
Well, yes. Who were your highlights? You saw Carmack, right? He was at.
No, Carmack wasn't there. Esta was there. I saw Gesaffelstein.
Oh yeah, Gesaffelstein. Yes, that's the one I was jealous about. Fuck.
Just other people, like Rez, who I wanted to see. She's really good. A lot of people that I'd seen before.
Wait, did you see Carmack yet, or is that coming up?
I saw Carmack at Hard Summer, but I'm seeing
that's what it was.
on December, which is also funny because that date that's on is during another BaseCon event. So I'll be at Carmack alone, and everybody's also going to be at BaseCon. So, but I might actually, because that show ends sort of early, so I might just go do a double feature.
You missed last week because Brandon was at a you were at a not a concert. It was a festival, I guess, right? A music festival, but but rock music as you call it, Brandon, I believe.
I mean, that is the genre of music that most closely aligns with what it was. Yes.
I don't know why I said it like it was up for debate. I was like, rock music, Breaking Benjamin. Would you consider them rock? Yeah. Anyway, so yeah, Brandon saw Manson, Breaking Benjamin. I don't know. You saw a couple. It was good. Anyway, you guys could have had great conversation because they're all acts that Nick actively listens to. So
Breaking Benjamin.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I've listened to enough Breaking Benjamin in my life. Probably more than I should admit.
Oh no, I have too. I'm just saying right now. I don't think they're on your in your CD player. Are they?
I'm a BB groupie, bitch. Back off.
In the Diary of Jane. Okay.
Lately I've been sort of, there's a small, it's not like most of my rotation, it's probably maybe 15% of my music rotation has become like sort of like old school whiny ass music.
Yeah, I'm that way with. Are you all like that with music, or do you guys? Let's include everybody in this. Katie Zen, like, I want to know, Katie Zen, what the
What do you
hell is
listen
in
to?
your car?
What?
What do you
Like,
listen
what do you
to?
listen to? I'm very curious.
Wait,
I
can we
bounce
guess?
back
But can we
and forth.
Can we guess before?
Oh yeah,
yeah,
go
that's
for
a good
it.
idea.
Um,
I'm gonna get some ludicrous.
bluegrass.
Neither of those two.
Beethoven.
At times.
I
listen.
I'm gonna guess
A
you're
lot
like
of
alt
things.
rock.
I mean,
What did you say?
I'm just gonna say like Zeppelin. No, classic rock. No.
now are you guessing like the music that I like or music that I listen to?
Well, yeah. What do you? I guess
That usually
listen-
is the same thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
What are your major categories?
Yeah.
I like to group my musical tastes more like things that I don't like because I can listen to a lot of music. Only things like really heavy, like screaming metal.
Okay, Zen,
music
you're making this
I
so complicated. What are you listening to right now?
What am I? Okay. Oh
yeah,
my
like
God.
what do you like if you're gonna listen to something? What would you
Are you
listen
trying to get to know me? God, I
We aren't
mean,
trying to do that.
I'm still the story so far. They made a new album. I've pretty much been listening to that since it came out in like May.
What kind of music is that?
Yeah,
It's
what
like pop
genre?
punk,
Okay.
pop punk
Yeah.
kind of band.
Yeah, pop punk is nice every once in a while.
Okay.
People
So
shit
just
on
one
pop
album,
music.
pretty much.
Yeah, what I usually do, I'll find one album and then I'll just
Listen
listen to
to
it
it
for
forever.
months. Yeah, I'm
Until
really
you're
bad with
done-
music.
until you're done with it. Yeah.
I'm finishing up the All American Rejects sophomore release. I'm a little late on that, but that's currently spinning in my car.
I don't know if like I've only listened to one of their albums and I don't know which one it is. For some reason I want to say it's the first one, but it's probably not.
What's the song
I listened to
that you
listened
like
to
everyone
The
knows?
one that all the songs were on, all the important ones.
Yeah, was that their. I don't think that was
That'd
their.
be their second one. Is
That
it
was
Move
their
Along
second.
on it?
Is that the second one?
I think that
Yeah.
is their second.
Move
Second
Along.
one.
Yeah, that's one of them.
That's their second one.
Yeah, that's the.
Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Solid
All
one.
right. What about you, Tim? What are you listening to?
This morning when I got in, Newfound Glory is playing. So
Oh my god, dude!
Okay.
I used to
Okay.
binge on Newfound Glory, but the voice I can't. When I go back, it's so whiny. It's so,
Oh yeah,
it's so-
it is,
that
but
happens
that's
with
part of
catchy.
the charm of Newfound Glory.
It is.
Like,
It is.
It really is. But I have their hits album in my CD player right now.
Yeah.
So like it's all their. If you were listening to every single song on it, you would know it.
I find when I go back and listen to music that I used to listen to when I was a little emo bitch, it just makes me emo because it's like that music is actually like when you listen to like the sad emo lyrics, you're just like, oh, this is why I was in such a bad mood because I was just like only listening to things that make me feel bad. That's nice.
What about you, Brandon? I guess we have to ask everybody. What are you listening to right now, Brandon? Music.
I haven't
Sierra?
actually haven't been listening to a whole lot lately. I've been listening to a bunch of podcasts,
Okay.
but I've been following up with some of the bands that I heard at the festival, just checking out some of their other stuff.
Cruella,
No, not really.
No. Okay.
Drizzy,
Yoko Ono.
Yoko Ono.
Oh God, no, not Yoko Ono.
Slim Shady,
Who's that?
Eminem.
Oh, what?
What?
Oh,
Who?
Tim's lost me.
Oh,
but,
that's the guy that raps with Rihanna, yeah?
Yeah, that's right. He hit her or something, and their like relationship fell apart. Or, I don't know.
Yeah, I think so. I think I saw
I've
the
heard
music
about
video.
that somewhere.
We should pivot to a music cast.
We really should. Yeah, we really should now. But all right. Well, if there's okay. So anyway, I was asking Nick. Went to some festivals. Anybody else want to go? Katie Zen. Any run-ins with
Festivals?
the
Welcome
family
to the
video?
festival
Ah.
cast.
The festival cast.
You go to
No.
I haven't
festivals
worked
this
at
week,
Family
bro.
Video since. I haven't worked at Family Video since March.
Oh, I know. But I was just like, I
Uh,
meant like, did you run into any like ex-employees,
Oh.
bosses? and-
Oh no,
Okay.
no, nothing like that. Nothing really happened this week.
Okay.
Other
All right,
than,
well,
video games.
All right, video games. Well, then kick us off with that. What have you played this week, Katie?
Well, I'm not at liberty to discuss any opinions of this game, but Tim and I have played a lot of Fallout 4, and I won't answer any questions, but I will say please look forward to our coverage on the website going live tomorrow at 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time.
So if you're listening to the audio version, it's already out there.
Yeah,
you already
that's
got a sneak peek.
Missed it. You already know. But yeah, other than that, I played Black Ops 3, and I actually really think it's fun. I think it's really fun. I think it probably has some of the best maps in Call of Duty for like the past few games that have come out.
Very high praise.
Yeah. No, I mean,
I'm gonna be honest about like I literally look at Black Ops 3 and I just my face hits my keyboard, not because like out of frustration or anything. It just does it. All the Call of Duty games just have blend together to me now. I'm sure it's fun, but I resisted the urge to drop the $60 because I knew like in like a week I won't be playing anymore. Like, do you think you'll be playing this for a while? I guess is the main question.
I mean, you know, Call of Duties have always been kind of, you know, frantic, run around, like chaotic. This feels like it's more so than any of the other ones, and I'm not going to be playing it in the future to like really. If I want to play it and like do well and like beat other people, I'll play like Counter-Strike. But this was like a really just the space out, run around,
you can
like
just jump in and play for.
It was an impulse buy.
Feels
To be
like
honest.
feels like it's tailored for that kind of gameplay now.
But your full 16-page write-up on the campaign is going to be on the site in a couple weeks, right?
Yeah, please look forward to that in 2017.
Okay.
I actually want to see your video review of Black Ops 3.
Oh, okay. All right. Well,
I'm actually not trolling. I think that would be interesting.
okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
Something to consider.
Because it's one of those games where I enjoyed original Black Ops, but I've been away from it since Black Ops, and I wouldn't necessarily be opposed to playing Call of Duty again, but I just don't.
Play 2 at all?
No, I don't own 2.
2 is pretty good. You probably would have liked it.
yeah, I
if you
really like
played
Black
it.
Ops.
Fun.
No, I know. I've heard good things.
But you just have it never pulled you back at all.
Yeah, it never pulled me back at all, and I think the reason is because I know that game has a very well-defined shelf life, and normally it's even shorter than that. Like the longest that game can last is a year, and usually because they generally don't care much about like keeping the PC community around, it falls off after a few months. But like the absolute longest that game will last is a year, and I'm just sort of over buying a game like that every year.
And that's why I purchased it.
Yeah.
I chose to get on the PS4, like precisely for that reason. Like player base compared to keyboard and mouse just isn't that big of a deal breaker, right?
Yeah.
It is sort of at that low range of population for a game where it's like, is it worth it for me to have this? Because in 6 months it's going to be sort of dead. So that's that's something you consider with a game that you know is like the multiplayer is not going to last.
Oh,
on a certain platform.
And then if you live
Especially
in Sweden or around Joel, then you got that tryhard, running around with his lobbies,
24/7.
fucking you up, and you're just like,
Kids
what's the
fucking
point?
pounding Red Bull, staying up 18 hours a day. It's their goddamn jobs to play fucking Black Ops 3 in Sweden.
I know.
They're getting paid by the government and being housed.
I want to know how many people that
Black
bought
Ops
the
3.
game on PC that ran into Joel's party are just like, yeah, this is the worst purchase I ever made. This is retarded. Why am I even doing this? But okay. Anything else?
It does have one of the best donation sounds. It's Hardballer saying, "Orb is my smooth pimp daddy." Great sound.
Actually,
But
pretty
yeah. Yeah, but final thoughts. If you like Black Ops 1 and you like Black Ops 2, I definitely think you're going to enjoy Black Ops 3. Unless you don't. Well, no, some of the new movement mechanics might turn you off, but anyways, I think it's fun. I think it's more Call of Duty. But that's all I played this week.
All right. Tim, what about you?
Fallout 4. That's all I'm gonna say. With that,
They just relish. Can I just say that you guys relish being able to be like, Fallout 4, I won't say anything else. You'll just have to
I mean, if I say anything, Brad will castrate me.
No, I know. No, I know
where
you
we're at.
actually have to do that. I'm just saying that you relish it. Just admit that you relish it.
I can see
so
that
that
look on your
was-
face.
That was most of it. We did have the couch stream yesterday, so we played the staples. We played Towerfall, Gang Beast. Gang Beast actually, we played the beta version of Gang Beast, which kind of made it a new game. It looks a lot better. They added a lot more physics to the game that we figured out where if you can hold onto the wall and just spam jump, you'll just fly up the screen. So there were some, funny moments that came from that. What else did we play yesterday? We played this game called what's it called? Let me find it real quick.
Naruto, ship it in something.
No, not that. We played Sky Arena, and that's kind of like Star Fox is 64 is what it kind of felt like. It's a 4-player split screen, just deathmatch. It was fun. We didn't play it for too long because the food arrived as we were playing it, so we were all distracted by pizza. But it was pretty fun. It handled very well. It did feel like Star Fox. It's just we didn't. I don't think we put enough time into it to really appreciate what it was. Duck game, obviously, all the staple couch games we played, and then I started playing this game called Albert Nado. It released last week, I believe, or 2 weeks ago. It feels like Limbo, but with a few more mechanics, and it's just a fun little 2D platformer with puzzles that you have to do. I'm gonna end up doing a review for the website for it, but if you like Limbo, definitely check this game out because it feels like Limbo with just a few more mechanics added into it and some really challenging puzzles. Actually, I'm about 2 hours into the game and I'm enjoying it so far. So that's all I've played.
Cool. Nick Fenton, what have you played?
Oh, I thought you were talking to the other Nick.
Yeah, sorry. I had to, definitely get the last name in there.
Well, I've been playing Fallout 4. I can't say anything about it. No, for the most part, it's just been Halo 5. Did you say what I requested?
Yeah, he did.
Did I say
last
what he
week?
said?
Yeah, he
Yeah,
said
I
it was
did.
hot ass.
No, I didn't say it was all hot ass.
Oh,
I
the
read what
campaign.
your comment was. It was like something. You said the.
It
no,
was
you
like
said.
it was like a 4-line text. Like, did you really mess up saying?
No, I read
It
what
was
you
basically
said,
like
but
a sentence for the campaign and multiplayer.
Is it a good hot ass or like a bad hot ass?
It is a bad. Well, okay.
Oh, okay.
So
you said the campaign.
Okay,
is
first
hot
of all,
ass, yeah.
spoilers. Here's if you don't want the Halo 5 campaign, skip ahead.
Okay,
literally
Tim,
5 seconds because here's your spoiler. It fucking
Okay.
blows. It's not really that bad. That's like super radical.
That's harsh.
The story is it's like I think I played the campaign in like 4.5 hours.
Oh,
which is,
wow.
like,
Really?
that's so
That's
short.
super
That's
short.
crazy.
It's super short. And then it like pre-release they were all like talking about how it was 15 missions and everybody's like, "Wow, that sounds like a pretty decent amount of stuff." Nope, 4 hours. 4 hours. I played on normal, so
Wow.
I usually play through normal the first time just to like get through the story, and then sometimes I go back and play Halos on Legendary. There are a few that I haven't done it for, but yeah,
Is it
just
also-
not very good. There's
it also
there's
true-
cool set pieces, but yeah, go ahead.
Is it also true that there's no longer like split screen co-op?
There
in the
is
campaign?
no split screen at all, I believe. Like even in
That's-
multiplayer, there's no split screen. So it's not even an option. Apparently,
Do people actually play that way?
that it's
Yeah.
for Halo,
Honestly?
it's a pretty big staple. So much so that I think they're actually looking like it's sort of a priority for Halo 6. Like if Halo 6 can have split screen, it will.
It
I
just
think
seems
there was some
such a bad experience.
split screen.
Yeah.
I mean, it's always worse than playing on your own screen, your dedicated screen. But there are some people, like Halo is sort of known to be like a game that you can play with your girlfriend, maybe, or something, or like significant other.
I suppose.
It sort of has a history of being, or just like when you have friends over, you just play a game of Halo.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, it's just sort of how it's been for a long time. I haven't
So-
played Halo split screen in a long time, though. Or not very frequently, at least.
So is Halo going the way of Call of Duty, where the single player is just like they don't give a shit and they're just going to make the multiplayer?
No, I don't think. I think that was. I think they
That's
value
not a good
the story of Halo a lot, but like it was just like super. It was fumbled. Like 4's story was pretty good. I liked it.
How long was the campaign for 4, though?
I
compared
think
to
it took me maybe like 7 hours,
Okay, yeah, that's longer. I mean,
which is almost like double the time of the campaign in this one,
Yeah.
which is pretty crazy. Because even 7 hours isn't super long, but it's like 4 hours.
Typical FPS, like
Yeah, I'd say like the 7 to
like
10
so.
hour range. Like yeah, for like a shooter campaign, when you start getting into like the 15-hour zone, I'm like, yeah, I get it. Depending on what it is, like if it's like a Deus Ex, which is a shooter that has RPG elements and stuff like that, it's sort of different.
there's no
but-
online to Deus Ex, so when there's
Yeah, it is just a single player game, so that's a different example. But the multiplayer is like in a better position than the campaign, I guess, because I guess the campaign is just sort of you get what you get, whereas the multiplayer can be changed post launch. I have notes, guys. I wrote down some
Whoa.
notes for this podcast. All right. And under campaign, I just wrote a dash and it says short, and then another dash and it says bad.
Very
So
detailed.
Warzone is like
Damn.
like the big team battle social replacement, playlist replacement. The concept is pretty all right. There's AIs on the map, and you kill AIs for points, and whoever gets the most points, or 1,000 points first, wins. Or if you capture all the bases, the enemy's core is exposed, and if you destroy the core, it's an automatic win. So that it's sort of, in theory, it's pretty cool, but the way it plays out is sort of shitty because there's no things on the map, and the only way that you get cool things like different guns and like vehicles, which are pretty important for the Halo sandbox, is through rec packs, and rec packs are the things that you buy from getting points in game or spending money on. So a lot of these things, like you use them once, you get a card, and it's like, here's a ghost. If you use up all your ghost cards, you don't get any more ghosts. And there's nothing that spawns on the map, which seems like sort of the opposite experience that I've had with Halo, where it's just like you walk up to a warthog and you get in the warthog. It's not awful. It's just like the variety isn't there. And a pretty common complaint that everybody's had with it is that, like, if you're in a game and you're losing by a lot, there's no reason for you to want to use your rec cards or whatever to like maybe come back. It's like there's no incentive for me to want to win this like who gives a fuck game mode and use my cool shit. Other than that, the arena, the ranked mode is pretty good. I feel like I'm just blabbering on about something that nobody really cares about.
How much are the
Actually,
packs?
It took you a while to recognize that.
Yeah, I mean, I'm definitely aware of it now. Feeling very self-conscious. The packs there's a bronze pack, and I think it's like 1250 rec points, which that's like, you can get that in a game if you have a good game.
Oh, okay.
And then it's the silver packs I think they're 5,000 points, so that's like maybe like 3 to 5 games, I suppose, depending on your however many points you get. And those are $2 a piece, I believe. And then there's a gold packs, which is 10,000. And I believe it's $5 for those. There's different things that modify what you get in your packs. So if you get like a commendation, you'll get more of that, whatever that weapon commendation or vehicle commendation. So like right now I have like a scorpion and sniper and all these different other commendations. So those appear more in packs that I open. There's also a $25 pack that you can buy that gives you like a shit ton of stuff, but I don't know specifically what the difference is, because I might just buy it just like once to see what's in there. Also because I'm a sheeple and I'll do microtransactions. But it's not super hard to get packs just by playing. If you're playing like a few matches a day, you're going to be able to at least like open 1 or 2 packs and get shit. The problem is like some of the things that come up in frequency are things that you don't really want, which makes sense because cooler stuff is more rare in the drop system.
So what's your review of Halo 5? If you gave it a 1 to 10 so far?
I'd say like as an overall package, a 7. I think maybe a high
Decent.
6. Probably like a high 6 somewhere in there.
High 6.
I think there's a lot of potential in the multiplayer, specifically in the competitive stuff. There's stuff there, but there's a lot of stuff missing. Like Forge
How many
isn't in
hours
the
do you have
game
into
yet.
it?
Not that many. I think I probably have maybe 25 or 30 matches of Arena in, and maybe 20 so matches of Warzone in. Not that many. But I sort of I have my feelers out.
What that image? You have your feelers out.
Okay, I mean,
Like
like a little ant with antenna, just feeling around,
And real quick, we got to talk about the prize pool that has been amassed so far for
Oh yeah,
the competitive side.
I believe they started with it was $1 million. That was the prize
Yeah.
pool for the Halo Championship Series. But through Rec Pack sales, I believe they added 500,000 on top of that, which a lot of people are really upset with because that money is going to that, which is fine. Like the competitive side gets a boost, that's cool. But also when you look at the new maps that are getting added in, it's like their unofficial first map pack for the game because they're adding in normal big team battle, which will be not like Warzone where there'll be stuff on the map, which is nice. That's sort of like once that's up, that's sort of takes care of my complaint. The problem is there's 4 maps in that playlist. That's a fine amount for like just a single playlist map rotation. I don't have a problem with that. But they're all made in Forge and they all look like hot fiery ass. There's like no textures on these things at all. There's like they remade Headlong from Halo 2, and like the yellow parts, it's just yellow texture, like plain like MS Paint tile texture. I don't know, that game. I'm gonna stick with it because
You want to like it, but you don't.
yeah, I like the base game. Like I think in Arena, like it's AR pistol starts, and that's good. That like the pistol is good again. The AR is also really good in certain situations, and like picking up maps on the ground, like you want to do that in the Arena mode because all the weapons have a pretty good variety. But depends on how it's handled in the coming months.
Very
That's it.
exciting.
Thanks, Brandon.
Can't wait.
Thanks for feigning interest in.
He didn't even feign it. Really.
I'm gonna continue playing Halo and talk about it every week just to spite you. And I'm gonna talk about it seriously, not even in the way that I would talk about Destiny facetiously. I'm gonna be very in depth in the Halo community. I'm gonna bring.
Maybe
people
we can
from
do like
Halo
a stats
community
review,
online.
and maybe you can do like a road to like a certain KD or something. We can go over it.
What the fuck does a road to a KD?
I don't know.
What is that?
If that hasn't
Road
been
to
done,
KD.
somebody's
road
gonna
to
do it.
1.8
Oh
KD?
god.
I bet you
That
that's been
series
done.
sounds like if you mess up early, like that
Yeah,
series,
like,
number of
then-
episodes is gonna grow like exponentially.
Yeah, if you're
I'm pretty sure
if
Wings of
you're
Redemption
bad-
did one something like that.
Well, he had a thing where it was like
Well, if Wings did it, it means
played,
it's okay.
He played with people and that would only have like a certain KD and a certain.
That's right.
win
That's right.
loss.
That's right.
Like it was like you had to have like a total combination ratio of like 8 or something between your KD and win loss.
I would watch a series of a guy who's really bad and he had like a 0.5 KD, and it's like his journey to get positive, and he already has like 4,000 games played. So you just watch him struggle.
He's just sinking further and further into the hole forever.
Yeah.
Video's just him yelling "fuck" the whole time. He knows every time he dies.
Oh!
damn it!
Fuck
this game,
man.
I
I was actually going to say one more thing about.
Oh, yeah.
I'm sorry,
No,
one more thing about Black Ops
We don't
3.
have time.
That,
We don't have time.
okay, all right, my bad.
Moving on. No, I'm just kidding. Go ahead.
No, I don't want to.
No, go ahead, man. I'm just rustling my
No.
gems, man.
Oh, you got no. One thing that you said that reminded me of something. There's a really cool change that I like in Black Ops 3. If you join a game that's in progress and that game is losing, you do not take a loss on your record
I
anymore.
did see you tweet about that and thank David
Yeah.
Vonderhaar for that, which is
Yes.
that's a good idea.
Yeah,
I do like
makes
that.
me very happy.
Not getting losses
That is
for
all.
joining games in progress.
Yeah, I don't know if you get
Long
wins though.
overdue change. Okay. Cool.
Alright.
All right, Brandon. What about you?
I haven't really played a whole lot. I played some Overwatch before I left, but I was at BlizzCon this weekend, so I haven't really played much.
Yes. Okay. All right.
But
We will get into
was great.
BlizzCon. Yes,
Yeah.
very shortly here.
Yeah.
I'll just go real quick. A bit of Counter Strike, and then I finished. Most of this week was South Park: Stick of Truth. I just finished that. Obviously, a little bit late on that, even though that did come out. That came out this year, right?
A
I
solid
think that was
game.
last year.
That was
Was
last
it?
year.
God
Yeah.
damn it!
Last
I was about to be
fall.
like, finally, a game that came out this year that I played. But anyway, I was just blown away by it. People have been telling me to play it for a long time, and I
You
kept
should
putting it
only
off.
play games that come out from the year before.
Yeah, I pretty much. Usually, it's like years. It's like 4 or 5 years.
That's
but
a really terrible like market to try to reach. Like I'm only gonna go after the
It has
audience
to
that
be
wants
a
to watch
year
games
old.
that are a year old and nothing older than a year. I don't want any of that 2013 bullshit. Just 2014. Only those releases.
But yeah, Stick of Truth was fantastic. It was a lot longer than I thought it was going to be. For some reason, I had it in my head that somebody told me the game was like 8 hours, and it's
It's like a
definitely
20-hour
like
game.
16 to. I would say I finished it in like 17, but anywhere from like probably like 14 to 20 hours, and it's just like playing like a really extended, amazing South Park episode. It was just nutty that
It's very well done.
that they did it. Yeah, that it was so well done, and it had a really competent and fun RPG underneath of it.
There's certainly a lot of factors going against that game. Like that could have been so bad. On
Exactly,
so many,
and it was-
so many fronts.
Yeah. And it was so good, and I'm really excited for the new game, which the title eludes me, but it's brilliant. Does anybody remember? Shit, something.
Oh, I know. It's called The Fractured But Whole.
The
Isn't that like?
Fractured
Isn't that
Butthole.
the?
Yeah.
It's a different theme, right? It's not like wizardy themed. It's like it's the superheroes.
Yeah, it's the superheroes. The
Okay,
Coon
first of
and-
all, you can't fucking say that.
okay, well, it's out there.
Still play it.
Yeah, no, but it's all the superheroes. Yeah, it's gonna be. The trailer looks amazing.
That might be more interesting to me.
Did you
Then
try? Have you tried Stick of Truth or no?
No, I haven't.
You would like it. It's really fun.
My fear has always, even though I've heard good things about it, my fear is always that like I'm not gonna like the humor in it.
I mean, if
like,
you like
I
South
am-
Park,
You
you're
like
gonna
I
South
like
Park,
I
yeah.
like South Park like 40% of the time.
Okay. Then I don't know. I mean, because it is.
Like
To me,
there's
it's
some,
like a
there's some
really
bits on
good
South Park that I
episode.
really love, and then there's other bits that I'm just like I don't care at all. It doesn't
Yeah.
hit my funny bone.
But yeah, that was pretty much just that, and I don't think there was anything else. So
I want a
Yeah.
Portlandia FMV game.
Oh, that
I would
sounds
play-
amazing.
I would play that. Yeah, I would play that.
And it's only set in like the lesbian bookshop.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And you're just dealing with customers.
It's like a visual novel.
Yeah.
So good.
Choose your own adventure.
One last thing before we move on to the next part. With the couch stream, we did actually get an Alienware Steam box.
I was going to ask how
for
that
the couch
is.
stream.
Yeah.
It ran really, really well. It ran a lot better than I thought it was going to.
What
I
was
think we
like
had
the most taxing game that you played?
Gang Beast, but I think it's because it's still being developed.
Oh,
and it's
yeah.
still in beta. But everything else,
I saw it like open with Shadow of Mordor, and it was playing Shadow of Mordor.
yeah, Shadow of
That's like
Mordor ran
It's a
perfectly
hefty
fine.
game.
Yeah, it that ran completely fine. At least the parts we were in. It ran everything 60 FPS, whatever settings that were set on it. I don't think we tweaked any settings. But everything we threw at it, obviously we weren't doing too tough of games. We played BioShock Infinite actually after we ended the stream. That was running 60 FPS just fine. We were doing it to test the Steam controller as well. And that thing's kind of, I don't know. I played with it a little bit during Gang Beast. I like it. It's just a different controller, is what
Yeah.
it is. Like it's not anything like you've ever used before. So it takes a little bit to get used to it. I'm still kind of on the fence about it, so I have to use a little bit more to give full judgment. The only problem I had with it is that it feels very, very lightweight in my hand. Like I feel like if I got really upset, I could literally break it in half. That's my only problem with it. Like it feels very
What is showing of your strength?
What about normal people?
well, No, it feels very. I don't want to say cheaply made, but very like the plastic feels thin, is the best way to put it. I'm not sure if that's the actual case, but it's just it. That's my big problem with it. Everything else I could get used to, the button layouts, the button placement, all that stuff. It just felt like if I were to drop it even from waist height, it would shatter. Is how I felt with it. But the controller itself seemed really good. Sean has had the most time with it. He's played a lot of different games with it. And he said it basically lives and dies by the profiles that you use for it. So there's user-made profiles, user-made button layouts, sensitivity for the touchpad and all that stuff out there. And that really is kind of determined by the people who have it and have created the profiles for it. And that could make and break a game for you, from what Sean was saying. So it's kind of one of those things where if you have it, you'll have to troubleshoot with it a little bit, but if you find your sweet spot with it, you'll love it, from what I'm hearing from people who've played with it more.
Do you think I could play Dark Souls with it?
Yeah, definitely.
Oh, there we go. I'm sold. Going
Yeah, I
GameStop.
definitely think you can play Dark Souls with it. But yeah, back to the Steam box. We had this, I think, the $650 model, and everything we threw at it, it ran perfectly fine. It's very small. It was a lot smaller than I thought it was going to be. It's about the size of, if you take two HD PVRs and put them side by side, that's about the size of the Alienware Steam box. That's
Really?
kind of
Wow.
the best way. Yeah, it's very tiny. It's not thick. It's very. You could put it like, you could hide it in your home theater system and you wouldn't even notice it was there. So, that's what I had to say about that. I forgot to mention those.
I have a question.
Yeah.
If you wanted to buy Oreos that were in a limited edition flavor of marshmallow Krispy Kreme, how much would you pay for that?
$4.
$4?
Yeah.
Because it's $15 on Amazon.
Wow.
That seems high.
How many
That's
packages are you getting?
irrational. I think it's just the one.
That's fucked.
But they're marshmallow. It's like a marshmallow, like a Rice Krispie treat. That's the flavor. It looks like there's little bits in the frosting of little Rice Krispie goodness. That's all I asked about.
All right, that's our cast for tonight, guys.
All right.
All right.
No.
Thanks for coming out.
Do we want to do, Bren, do you want to talk about BlizzCon now, or do you want to do it in the context of the news? You can just.
I mean, I can talk about it a little bit.
Yeah,
I mean,
talk about
I
your
think the
experience.
news is like the interesting part for the cast, but
Yeah.
I mean, just the show was really fun. I think if you're a Blizzard fan, like BlizzCon is like there's no better event for you to go to if those are the games that you play. It's just a really great community-focused event. I love like the art gallery. They do like panels with the. I love a lot of Blizzard's art. I think that's one thing that they do pretty uniquely compared to a lot of other like other developers. I mean, not that other games don't have good artists, but like I just feel like Blizzard's artists are on a whole other level. And so they do like panels with artists that will do like renders or drawings and stuff during the panel while they're talking about stuff. Obviously, you can play games. Like there's just a bunch of neat stuff there. So I had a really good time, and there's quite a bit of news that came out of BlizzCon too. So do we want to roll into the news?
Yeah, let's do that. Let's
All
do it
right.
right. I love that, Brandon. I love when you take control and roll over.
Roll
me.
into
Yeah.
it.
Absolutely. So I'm not sure how much
Jesus.
of this you guys followed during the weekend, but there are like several big news items. I think
yeah.
the biggest one is this first one we'll talk about, which is Overwatch is not going to be completely free to play. I caveat
What?
that. I caveat that because it is going to be for one, it's going to be on consoles. So they're going to release it for a PS4 and Xbox One, and it's going to be $60.
What?
That's
No,
right.
no.
You
It's
heard
gonna
that
be,
right.
No. Isn't it? It's going to be $40.
No, so I believe the $40 edition is only for the PC. I believe PC
Oh,
has
okay.
a $40 edition, but for the consoles, and then also available on PC, is the $60 Origins edition, which
Yeah.
gives you 5 Origin skins, which I actually think the Origin skins are kind of neat. They're like slightly alternate versions of the heroes, but they look similar enough. I think, did we talk about this on the cast? Or like I didn't think they were gonna do skins that look completely different than
I
the
I don't
characters.
recall.
Well, anyway, so the origin skins are sort of like they roll into the story of that character, like kind of the backstory. So it's sort of like their previous version. Um,
I love lore.
I mean, I think it's neat that they're trying to flesh all of that out. But yeah, like I was kind of surprised. I think it was a widely held assumption that this was going to be a completely free to play game.
Oh yeah.
I always
Yeah.
thought even if all the characters, I thought the characters were going to be all unlocked, and then you were just buying skins. That's what I thought it was going to be for some
That's
reason.
what I was under the assumption of, yeah.
Yeah.
Or even
But-
like a few characters I had to buy. Like I was okay with that, but
So,
I don't know.
but there was never any. I mean, Blizzard never confirmed any of that, and the reason I think everyone thought it was going to be is because it looked like TF2. Is that fair?
Yeah, I
Like,
think that's
is there,
Yeah.
like-
Yeah.
It's sort
We'll
of
do the
it's sort
TF2
of
model, but
it's
it doesn't
kinda
mean-
there's two sides. It sucks that it sucks for us because we were expecting it to be free, but it's also like we had no reason to expect it to be
Yeah,
free,
They never said. that
and
it
they
was going
have
to
the
be.
right to charge money for a video game.
Well, I think
Also, it's got like champions and heroes. How many other free-to-play games have, I mean, that's a
Yeah.
very general, like, characters you pick from to use.
Yeah, I think it's fair that people
it looked
thought it
like they
was.
could definitely make it
Yeah.
free to play pretty easily.
Yeah, you could monetize the fuck out of this game.
But
Yeah.
I actually there's an interview with I can't look it up right now, but I think either the lead gameplay designer or one of the leads on that project who talked about why they didn't make it free to play, and it if you take him at his word, the answer is that they didn't want that to affect the gameplay. Because like if you make it free to play and say you do it league style where you have a rotation of heroes,
Absolutely.
like that affects the way
that changes the
game,
way people play the game.
right?
Yeah.
and so I
And
think
it's all about
there's-
being able to switch between
Hey.
your characters for certain
Hey.
roles, and if you can't switch to a certain character that maybe counters another character,
Right.
then your base game is sort of fucked.
Hey Tim, would you say that with the rotating heroes or characters, it creates a new meta every month?
it's possible.
Maybe even a
or
new
every
meta.
week if they do it that way.
Meta too. Yeah.
But I think that's like that seems like a pretty honest answer because they seem to really want to lean into the fact that you can you can change heroes throughout the game. they've like some people have had feedback for them that they want you to like lock in a character and have to keep that character the whole game, and they've basically said like that's not the way they intend the game to be played. They want you to be able to change throughout the course of the game and like react to what the other team is doing, and it's hard to live up to that if you make characters not free.
I wish everyone like knows this decision behind it instead of jumping immediately to like profit based. Like
No, I
we'll get more money.
I actually think this is like lowering their profit expectations. Like this being a free-to-play game would be huge.
Have a bigger player base, definitely.
So and the other side of it, me is like selfishly, a $40 to $60 game means that cheating will be a lot less of a problem. Like if you look at TF2 doesn't really have this problem as much because of the game that it is, but I could absolutely see this game having a cheating problem with characters like McCree that have just very strong hit scan weapons. If you make it free to play, like that's something that CS:GO tangles with a lot because CS:GO goes on sale very frequently, and people just create new Steam accounts. They get a new copy of CS:GO, and they cheat, and that's a lot harder to do when it costs you a lot more money to do so.
That makes sense.
So
I'm fine with
See
it.
that side of it.
Yeah, I'm okay with it.
I will probably. I haven't even played the game yet. I just like over the past week, I didn't really have any interest before seeing gameplay for it, and now I'm like really want to try it. But I will probably drop the $60 for like the extra skins and shit. I have no problem because even $40 is like for a game that's going to be good, most likely. Sure.
The second that I heard it had lore, I pre-ordered the $130 edition.
Absolutely.
That's your trigger. Yeah.
They actually, I mean, during BlizzCon, they did talk a bunch about how they're looking to flesh out the story for Overwatch characters, and they're going to do like animated shorts for Overwatch. Like
There's going to be an Overwatch card game to go with all the other Blizzard card games.
I mean, I actually think that stuff is pretty cool because it's very easy to just not do that. I think that's sort of what sets Blizzard apart sometimes, is that they put a lot of investment into things like that really create a proper universe. And even if you don't care about it, a lot of people do, and I think that's what endears a lot of people to their franchises. Because it's not free to do that stuff.
Yeah, that's true. But you're a lore hound too, Brandon, and you're also not
a lore hound.
No, I'm really not.
You a hound, Brandon? You a dog?
Brandon
right though. At the level
Brandon likes taking it doggy style from some good lore boys.
Dog, Brandon.
God.
Like it's really,
bend me over like a dog.
It's really expensive to do that amount of work, and like I respect that they spend so much money and time on trying to create a universe that gets people attached.
Yeah, especially with the level of detail that goes into their, like, we'll even go with trailers for World of Warcraft. Like, those trailers are hype as fuck because there's so much detail, there's so much just goes behind them for like 2 minutes worth of just video. If they do one for every single video, like for every single character of Overwatch, like you can guarantee they're going to be World of Warcraft level of like production.
Speaking of that, Tim,
nice segue.
Whoa! It's like I saw something.
World
on
of
here.
Warcraft Legion trailer. There's actually two little pieces of news. This one I didn't put in, but they did release the cinematic trailer for World of Warcraft Legion, which, if you've listened to the cast for a while, you know. Well, I mean, I think if you're in gaming, like these are some of the coolest cinematic trailers in the industry, and so they released the cinematic trailer for Legion, which is very cool. And there was, I think they announced that Legion, which is the new expansion for World of Warcraft, is going to be out probably like late summer or fall next year.
Yeah, keeping up with the 2-year release cycle of their expansions.
Yeah. But then also they released the Warcraft film trailer, which I thought looked pretty good. I mean, I'm a big Warcraft fan, so I'm gonna see this movie regardless.
I talked about this on my stream recently, and the thing is, there's a built-in audience for this, especially like you, Brandon, people that have played WoW for a long time.
Absolutely.
I understand that, but coming from a perspective of somebody that never really got into WoW, I couldn't care less. Like I will not go
I don't
see
blame
it.
you. I don't blame you. And
I think
Yeah.
it really only
It just
does
kind of falls into like
target
the every other
Warcraft
fantasy
audience.
film kind of thing for me. Not that I'm sure. Actually, I'm not sure it's going to be good at all. Actually, because video game movies really don't have a good
well, I
pedigree.
think
But
do you think that it is possible to make a this is just a I'm just throwing this out there. Do you think it's possible to make a movie that is endearing to like the hardcore fans of WoW that would also be appealing to the masses?
I don't. Yeah, I don't know.
I don't think it's
I
possible
think it would be very
personally.
difficult.
Because that's what I feel like they probably struggle with, and the trailer, at least just the first look at it, I get the vibe that it is like a trailer that you will enjoy if you enjoy WoW, like if you lived WoW. But if you didn't,
Right.
I can
Right.
absolutely see your viewpoint where it's just like this, just like why would I care about this?
Yeah, exactly. And I don't even. I mean, I think the CG looks okay. I mean, but it doesn't. I mean, I don't know. It just doesn't really do. I guess I'm probably on the far side of it too. Like I'm just kind of over the whole fantasy. I feel like there's so many of these fantasy movies, like Aragorn and all that bullshit. I'm not lumping this into it, but I just feel like people like me are going to kind of think that. It'll be interesting to see how. I don't know how much they spent on it. It'll be really interesting to see how much it makes. I mean, you have the built-in player base. Like pretty much everyone that probably plays WoW is going to go see it. What is that player base like? How many millions? Is it like 9 million right now?
Well, that's the thing
Right
is
now.
I don't know what the lifetime player base is, and I'm not
Yeah.
sure if they've ever even released those numbers.
Okay.
Like,
That
there's,
is-
you know,
that'll be a
it's-
huge
That's
number.
well, yeah, that's a good point too. Lifetime, yeah, not just current.
because
so.
I have to imagine there's, I mean, I'm just ballparking. I figure it's probably got to be like 20 to 25 million like total people. If not
Yeah.
maybe more than that.
Right,
Like that,
right.
some of them that maybe played WoW for a year when it first came out, but haven't played since then. Like those people may still love this movie.
That's a good point, and I think it makes sense too, especially like to get this movie made because like who else but Blizzard could be like, listen, we can guarantee, we know at least a huge chunk of the
Right.
world
Like you
will
already
see this
have
movie.
if you do have that built-in audience that is going to go see it, like maybe that is all you need to like get good word of mouth and get other people to see it. I don't know.
Sure, yeah.
My mic got unplugged. Can we talk about how disappointing the Aragon movie was? How sad.
I did have
was.
to bring
Did
that
you
up,
read the
but
book,
it was
or-
terrible.
I didn't read the book, but that movie was just so sad.
Sad, like quality wise?
Yeah, in a lot of ways.
Sad all over.
I went with people. I went with friends that really loved the book, and I watched people die inside.
Oh no.
It's-
I watched kids my age. I was probably like 6th or 7th grade when that movie came out. Like I watched kids in their preteens die internally.
I guess also when I should say when the CG doesn't look good, I guess in the context, I don't really. I mean, it looks good because it's a fantasy world. So I mean, like I agree, the facial expressions and everything look good, but it still has a very. I don't know. I think people just has a very, like obviously Avatar CG kind of stuff to it. I don't know, which is I mean you have to because it's fantasy, right? So you're not going to be able to do all that stuff like with like real makeup and all that. But I don't know. We'll see. I
I
think
think that's really the only route that you can go, honestly.
so far, yeah. And I mean,
the Warcraft universe is sort of cartoony in a way, and so like you
Yeah,
can't really
I feel
do it
like
within
it
normal
fits
live
Sure.
action.
with it fits with
Yeah.
the way those games look.
Like if
Yeah.
they tried to approach the Warcraft movie with, like Lord of the Rings style, I don't think it
Yeah.
would work at all.
that's a good point. Because yeah, it is distinctly different than something like a Lord of the Rings, looking style wise. Definitely. But
Yeah, all that CG's not done yet, so I mean, it could look like some of the shots in there looked really good, but there were definitely a couple that was like, please don't show this in the trailer.
I mean, I think the bottom line is if you like WoW, if you like the Warcraft universe, I haven't seen anything yet that says you won't like this movie. Which I
Yeah.
think is hopefully what they're going for.
Mhm.
If everything they're saying is like this is a movie for the fans of this franchise. So
latest comment on this PC Gamer article: Nick about to go to war. Way better than that Hobbit bullshit from Slasher.
What stance do you think I have in The Hobbit?
I don't know. Oh, that's true. Yeah, you would.
I like
yeah.
the first one, and the
Yeah,
second and
that's
third
true.
one
You
I
wouldn't- you don't
literally
care about
only own because I bought the first one on Blu-ray, and I like that movie. And the first Hobbit is pretty fucking good. It leads into 2 bullshit movies though
Yeah.
All right,
that I own all in Blu-ray.
Never mind. We just found out Nick's alternate name online is Slasher, spelled incorrectly. Slosser, actually. Sorry.
Slosser.
Slosser.
Catch me on the forums for what was it, PC Gamer or whatever the fuck.
Yeah,
or-
PC Gamer.
So
I've only seen
moving
the
right
third.
along, we have more BlizzCon news. Hearthstone is launching a new expansion, which the surprising thing for me was not that they are doing a new expansion, but that it's actually launching next week.
I'm all about these. Keep doing
Black
these.
Or actually,
Keep
this
doing
week.
these.
Yeah, it launches on November 12th, so this Thursday.
I want more of this stuff.
Yeah,
Just
I
like-
agree.
Just,
I
just be
actually,
like, it's coming out in a week.
yeah, I got to play
Even
this
like
at
stuff
BlizzCon.
like Fallout, where they announced it, and it's like it's coming out in a couple months. Like even that is enough. It's just like I don't need 3 years of hype.
Yeah, the new expansion is called the League of Explorers, and I played the kind of demo thing at BlizzCon, and it was kind of neat. You were in the demo they had, you were not playing against a character. You were playing to escape this, this tomb or whatever. So you had to survive a certain number of turns, and each turn it would like do something random. Like, so it sort of followed a storyline, and like, turn 2 it might spawn this certain creature, and turn 3 it spawns another creature, or it like hits you for 10 damage because a spike fell on you or something like that. So you just had to survive instead of actually like do damage to something. Like if you had minions alive, you weren't if there was no minions alive on the other side of the board, there was nothing to do with your minions. Like you would just pass your turn. So
That's
I thought
different.
that was very different from anything else they've done. And I agree with Nick. Like I love these adventure expansions. I think it'll be really neat. They have a new mechanic called Discover, which is, for as example, there's like a new 2 mana card where the battle cry is Discover a 3 cost card, and Discover picks a deck or picks a card from that is not in your deck. So either a class card or a neutral card, I believe, that is not in your deck, and it draws the card. So that is the new mechanic.
I wonder how long they're going to go the route of like when they throw in a bunch of new cards for the game. They also tie it in with like an adventure mode or some sort of other mode. Because it seems like if you keep doing it, at some point it's just like there's too many fucking modes. Like keep it streamlined.
Yeah.
Like, do you foresee them like cutting it back and just being like, here's a fucking giant card expansion?
I mean, that's sort of what they're doing. They're sort of alternating between doing adventure modes and then booster pack expansions. I mean, I think the adventure modes are fun. Like, I think most people probably only play through them once and then put them away. Whereas the booster packs are generally just huge meta changes because there's so many cards. I like the adventure modes that change the meta slightly, but give me kind of some cool single-player type content.
Yeah.
Whereas the booster packs is just like, oh, let me spend $300 to get all these cards.
Sick.
So that is Hearthstone, and then the last thing that I thought was kind of interesting is that Heroes of the Storm is going to have a new arena mode, which seems sort of like ARAMs, but it's not a lane, it's like an arena. So I don't know a whole lot more about it, but there's like basically a new random mode for heroes, which looks kind of neat. And there's a new hero in Heroes called it's Cho'Gall, and it's two. The only reason I mention it is because it is two players control one hero.
That's really fucking different.
That's different. That's
Yeah, it's a cool concept. Let's see how it works out.
Yeah, so that's like the
neat, though.
first time I don't think any other MOBA has done that.
No, I don't think so.
Not that I'm aware of.
So I thought that was interesting.
I need to put more time into
So,
HOTS.
question with that is, like, I've never played Heroes of the Storm. Is it like 5 champions per map, like on each on each
Yeah.
team?
Yeah, it's
5v5?
5v5.
So with Cho'Gall on the map, does that like take away a champion?
I would assume
or...
so. It would be a 4v5 then.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
Which like definitely I have to assume they've done some testing around how this messes with the meta, but
Yeah, I'd
It has
assume he's
to-
probably has like he's pretty powerful, but you're also in terms of like objectives or everything, you're taking a hit there.
yeah. So that's pretty much the major news out of BlizzCon, and lots of cool stuff coming out of Blizzard.
Seems like it. They always got.
As
They
you
have
rate-
like they have like
Nice.
everything covered now, in terms of like general games. They've got fucking
Yeah, that's
MMO.
true.
They've got Diablo. You got your RPG,
Yeah.
RTS, card game,
Card, yeah. Jesus.
MOBA, and now your shooter. You have like they have a fucking enterprise. Not that they didn't have an enterprise before, but dear God, they have
Yeah, it's
all hands on deck right
I
now.
feel like this is probably the most active Blizzard has ever been. Like, if you look at Blizzard a couple years ago, it was like, oh yeah, they're doing some stuff with WoW, occasionally something with Diablo, but like now they have so many active franchises, it's pretty crazy.
It makes BlizzCon feel even like it's like larger and larger now. There's like more reason. There's more things
Yeah.
being announced and talked about. Because like even just a couple years ago, it's like they had like 3
Yeah,
games.
there was like there wasn't really much news coming out of BlizzCon in previous years, I felt like.
I
There
would
was
feel
maybe
you
one or
really go
two
to
banner
BlizzCon
things.
to watch StarCraft and WoW arenas.
Yeah, and then occasionally
what I
get like
used to think of it
an
as.
expansion's coming for a game. One of the
Yeah.
games. There's an expansion, maybe, and we're announcing it.
Yeah. I feel
But
like
now
they
there's
do
like
have-
announcements for multiple games.
Yeah,
like-
there was like pretty major announcements for nearly every game. The
Yeah.
only one that maybe didn't have any was StarCraft, but that's because the expansion actually launches this week. So
That's pretty cool. It makes it feel like a living like thing like that Blizzard's doing, which is
yeah,
just
yeah.
neat.
I really do. This is my second BlizzCon, and I was surprised at how much I enjoyed it. Even though I play a lot of Blizzard games, but I was surprised at just how much fun it is, what a good show it is. Given that you wouldn't necessarily think Blizzard has enough content to put on a show like that.
You know what I just remembered that I started playing yesterday for some reason? Looking at World of Warcraft reminded me of this. I started a Star Wars: The Old Republic account.
Did you?
Yeah, because I heard the expansion they added. There's a new expansion, and apparently it's pretty good.
hmm
And then I guess like the whole single player side of that game is pretty decent. And I think it was just a combination of like I sort of want to play an MMO, but I'll probably abandon it in 2 weeks, and also I kind of want to play a Star Wars game until Battlefront comes out.
Hey, I
So-
really liked Old Republic. Like,
Yeah,
as an
I have a
actual
couple
game,
friends. Like I have
but
friends that really like that game.
when it first released, like, there was just no content to it. That was my
Yeah.
only problem. And this is me. Like, I didn't play as hardcore as I did WoW, but I still saw everything within 2 months of it releasing. And
think
that was
if I-
the downside of it. But it played very well. The leveling was very really nice because it was made by BioWare, so you
got
actually
all
had
the
a story to
story stuff.
follow along.
Yeah,
And
I think that will be the reason if I do continue playing. It will just be for that. I will most likely, if I ever got to endgame, I wouldn't even participate. I'd be like,
Yeah.
okay, I did my leveling, and I'm done.
And that's the nice part about it being free to play is you can go through every single class and see all the stories without having
Yeah.
to pay time in that game, which is nice.
I went boring and picked Jedi Knight.
Yeah, it's probably the worst story out of all of them too. But
Sweet,
You do- you do
nice. All right, exciting stuff.
All right, so moving on. Real quick, I wanted to mention that we are currently still, I guess, in the midst of Extra Life Weekend, though I suppose it's nearly over. And as of earlier today, Extra Life had raised over $6.3 million this year, which is a new record for them. And I think by the end of the year, I'm sure they will probably be over 7 million, which is pretty amazing. So, thank you to anyone who's listening or watching that did an Extra Life stream or contributed or helped in any way. I love seeing Extra Life get bigger and bigger every year.
That's a lot of money.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's nuts.
There's a lot of money
What was
for.
it last year? Was it like 3 million last year? I think.
I do not remember
I
offhand.
think it was 3 or 4. I'm not sure.
Yeah, it is.
But
It
it's
is
still
definitely.
really
their
cool.
growth rate is just so crazy.
yeah, they destroy their goal, like their
yeah.
previous year,
Yeah.
by a
Like, we've-
lot.
I've said this before, but I actually really love seeing us move down the leaderboards every single year, because that means that it's gaining more and more mainstream adoption, from huge brands, And like this year, looking at some of the top teams, like Rooster Teeth, obviously they were huge last year. Mindcrack, huge. Giant Bomb, Dungeons and Dragons, Geek and Sundry, Tryon Worlds, the Reddit team. Like there's so many huge names in gaming participating in Extra Life now, that it's just awesome to see that. So
Yeah.
I'm really happy for them and excited to see what the total at the end of the year is like.
So Rooster Teeth raised 373,000 this year. They just got done with theirs earlier today, and they're at 373,000. That's
a lot.
kind of insane.
Yeah, and they may not even be done yet.
I don't think that's
because-
T-shirt stuff.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they usually donate like T-shirt sales and other stuff. So I wouldn't be surprised if they're like actually way more than that. But so moving right along, we have more. We have some more news. This is. I thought this was interesting. Kind of hardware news, but not really. AMD. If you've used an AMD card, you know that the Catalyst drivers and software have gone through, some rocky times. I actually have
Four-man
not.
in a shed.
Yeah, I've actually not used this software in a long time, but AMD is replacing their Catalyst software with a new, I guess, more streamlined software that is they're going to release a new version of it annually. And this year's version is called Crimson, and they're going to release it before the end of the year. So this is going to completely replace the Catalyst Control Center, and I think this is sort of their response to GeForce Experience, which is NVIDIA's kind of application that keeps your drivers updated and manages, like, optimizes game settings and things like that. So it's probably about time that AMD gave this a new coat of paint. But the screenshots look pretty good. I'm not sure if this is going to draw people back to AMD necessarily, but I'm glad to see that they're taking that seriously.
Brandon, I just want to give a quote that my dad once told me. He said, "You can put lipstick on a donkey, but it's still a donkey." So, is this the case?
Isn't that
for,
pig? It's usually pig.
For some reason, he told it to me as donkey, but I think.
Oh, he
pig would
really
work,
did?
too.
He would say donkey?
Yeah. We also it was more pertinent because we lived overseas and there were a lot of donkeys where we lived, so maybe that was why.
It's a more real-life scenario.
It's a more real. I can
Stick
imagine
with
it.
you every time you look at a donkey, you're like, oh, fucking lipstick on that ass.
It's still a donkey. It's still an ass. But
I mean,
Yeah.
it's hard to know, but I think it's absolutely something they needed to do because
it does look a lot cleaner. You're right.
Yeah,
Screenshots.
that's definitely
It looks
better.
nice,
It's better
but-
than Catalyst. I think my stance is always on things like NVIDIA GeForce and Catalyst, now to be known as Crimson, is I don't fucking want these on my computer ever. Ever.
Yeah.
I don't fucking care.
You
Please,
don't
if
want
I could-
these at all, like the
No,
program.
I just want drivers. I don't care.
Well,
Well, the other
that's
thing with this stuff too is like even with NVIDIA and the control panel and everything, like I'll look into it. I'll be like, man, why is my CS not working? And like the top
the
post is
control
like,
panel's nice, but like all the GeForce shit, I don't give a fuck at all.
well, yeah, I tend to agree. Like I'll just control in game what I need like to change. I don't need all
Yeah.
kinds of shit. Like
Yeah, I mean, I agree. I don't really use many of the features in that software.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I do recognize that the way to make PC gaming more of the norm is for software like that to just help people figure out the settings and like
Yeah, I
click a
suppose.
checkbox
Yeah,
to
I
make
guess.
You've
it.
swayed me back,
playable.
Brandon. I don't hate it as much.
But I also, I mean, that software, the times I have used it, I think the important part is actually getting it right. Like, and that's the thing is it's I think it varies wildly in, at least in my experience, some of the recommendations that software has made for different games is like, yeah, I'm not going to use what you say is optimal because it's going to get me like 20 frames per second. So it kind of comes
Yeah.
down to like how good the recommendations are. But I guess you have to have software that can do that in the first place. And I'm not sure if the previous Catalyst software like even had that capability. So like I think it looks pretty clean. It's if anything, it forces NVIDIA to put more love into the GeForce Experience product, which I actually think is pretty good, at least just like for keeping your drivers updated and stuff. It works pretty well.
That's all I use it for.
Yeah. So moving right along, we have actually more AMD news.
More
AMD's killing
much
it, man.
Much more predictable in
They,
terms
they
of
have one
AMD
positive.
news.
They have one positive thing, and then they have this. Rip.
Yeah.
Hey, AMD's gonna be not as shitty in this department. Oh fuck, we lied.
We
Sorry.
lied about our bulldozer cores, boys. Oops.
Yeah, so we should say this is alleged. I don't
That's
think this has
true.
been proven yet, but
Okay.
AMD.
Brandon, I can just say I've been taking a look in the last few minutes at the schematics that have been put in the article, and as a certified
Schematics.
chip maker, they're definitely it's bullshit. And they
I'm
lied,
looking at these
so.
pictures. There's pictures of squares with the word cache over them, and I'm analyzing this information, and I can definitely confirm to you that 100% lies, Brandon.
Like you're gonna tell me that there's a BPD code iFetch next to a Core 1 under the 2 MB and 2 megabytes of L2 cache? Like this is garbage. They
It's
lied to
bullshit.
us. Look at that. You would never have an iFetch
You
next to an
think
FPU.
you think they're gonna really have all those cores when there's a VSS gating footer right next to the fucking 2 MB L2 cache?
That's right. Never.
That's not how you even make a CPU.
I'm glad we brought the experts
You know what I'm looking
on.
at these now, top down. These look like building schematics actually.
Yeah,
Like,
this looks like a city. It looks like they just stole plans for a city being mapped out. They
like
stole
old Sims-
documents
it's-
from a city planner.
original SimCity was what
Yeah,
we have
they
here,
did
and they put the
top-down
text
view.
on them. Wow.
Well, so
They
the
sold
the
it to us
claim-
as the computer part.
The claim is that the Bulldozer CPU had 8 cores, but
Yeah.
the actual chip only had 4 cores. Which I like. I obviously don't know one way or the other because I don't really know what these schematics mean, and I don't know if it has merit. But I always did think it was kind of weird that like AMD has pushed having more cores, whereas Intel has traditionally pushed like better single core performance, and it just seemed like pushing more cores didn't necessarily do anything for you. And if it turns out that they actually were, that was like maybe kind of a marketing gimmick, that's a real black eye for AMD. Because that's all they had in the first place. That like they had so many more cores, and
Yeah, and then that gets taken, and then it's like, nope, no, they don't actually.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
unfortunate. Yeah,
Well, I mean-
can't have a week go by without AMD at least getting knocked down. With their positive news comes negative news as well.
Yeah.
So this is pertinent to our previous discussion about Black Ops 3.
This makes no fucking sense to
I
me.
thought, yeah, I actually thought about putting this in like our roundtable.
This should be the Let's Get Mad section.
Yeah.
There's part of it. There's something that. Well, just continue. Whatever.
So, Black
Okay.
Ops 3 is going to get modding and mapping tools on the PC in
I've heard this
2016.
When are we getting these?
I've
in
heard this before.
2016.
Didn't we hear this with Black Ops 2?
The closed alpha target.
Yeah, the closed alpha.
Closed alpha is March 2016, which is nearly halfway through the annual life cycle of this game. The only thing I can think of here is like is Treyarch trying to dominate Call of Duty on PC, like just trying to like if they give the tools, it'll keep Black Ops 3 alive longer, whereas like historically they die out in a year.
Yeah. I mean,
I think that's that's all I can really think of.
So the details here are that their plan is that you can create maps and game modes,
That usually comes along with modding and mapping tools.
and they are going to have unranked dedicated servers, and they're going to have an unranked server browser, and that's about it so far. But I agree with you that I do not really understand why this is coming in March 2016.
That's
when
actually
that
it
is
makes Halo 5 look great that Forge was only 2 months after release. This is coming like 5 months after.
the only thing I can think, this is when I first saw this news, what I thought was if they are building sort of a structure that allows this to be ported to the other games easily, like the future Call of Duty games, if they're going to
Maybe.
reuse some of this same infrastructure or the same tooling, then I could understand it. If let's say you make a map or a game mode, you make a mod that will just work with the next Call of Duty, then I understand it. But they haven't said that, and like I would kind of be surprised if that was the case.
I just noticed on the post on the Treyarch website, the title is just modding and mapping tools coming to Black Ops 3 and PC in 2016, and then in small text below it says, "Yeah, you read that right." Yeah, fuck yeah, we're
the tone
adding
of
this
it-
to the game 5 months after it comes out.
The tone
Fuck
of it is
yeah,
kind of
Joe.
funny. Like the
The tone is weird.
It's from
It's like you're fucking welcome, that kind of tone. It's like you're fucking welcome for giving you this fucking map tools mods.
Well,
mods.
the way I read it, was like, this is not a joke, because I think a lot of people would read this and they'd be like, is this April Fool's? You know,
Right.
are you for real? And so in the body of the post, the last sentence says, "And
Yes.
yes, this is for real."
Yeah.
Someone from their PR department went over this.
They were like,
and-
yeah, that's how you should end this post.
and
With that.
and they were like, no, we need to include this, like otherwise people are not going to believe us.
Thank you,
Hold
Caesar.
them too.
Stastny.
And yes, this is for real.
To me, it all yeah. And so the way I'm reading it is that this all stinks of much pomp and circumstance. Like they thought the internet was going to break because of this.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like they had to put like that. The
Yeah,
entire, like
we just
the PC
fucking
community
did
is
it.
going to be like,
Holy fuck! Can
Like,
you fucking believe
everyone-
this? We just fucking dropped this on your fucking faces, bro.
fucking cancel
mod-
my Fallout 4 pre-order, boys. We're playing Black Ops 3 for the rest until March when this fucking thing comes out in 2016. Like to me, this whole thing just—I mean, and I guess it is big in the sense of that these tools have been asked for from PC gamers for a long time. So I guess that's maybe the thought that like, yes, this is for real. We're opening it up to allow this to happen. But
That's kind of
I don't
how
know.
I read it too.
I guess, yeah,
it does seem a
it's
little
like-
bit.
It helps support their game because they're not going to have another game for 3 years.
Yeah, I mean, I think
Like,
I
this is
think
the
that's
way
true.
that they'll, even when their DLC cycle is gone, this will still exist for their game, which is nice.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, I don't want to be cynical about it because I should, just objectively, I should be happy that they are doing this.
Yeah.
I'm not really clear why.
Yeah.
Trying to think about what it benefits them to put this
Mm-hmm.
out halfway through what they like very clearly know is a 1-year shelf life for each of these games. Like why would they be allowed to spend time on this? Like
They should have
something
just
doesn't add
waited.
up.
They should have just waited until March, and then they would have been like, "Hey, next week mod tools are coming." It would have been way better.
Yeah.
Yeah, that kind of would have been better because then everyone
that
could
would've
have
gotten
truly gone
way
like, holy
more
shit,
buzz.
and they're here.
Then you wouldn't have the negative like, "Oh, it's not coming out for another 5 months." It'd be like, "Oh, this is here now."
Well, that's
Oh,
why
okay.
that's what like the cynical
Yeah.
side of me says that's why they're releasing it now because they like maybe pre-orders weren't where they needed them to be or something, and so you put this out
True.
Is this
a week
is,
before your
like-
game launches.
But then again,
And
is
then-
this really going to make me pre-order or even buy your game when it's like, cool, 5 months down the line, there'll be things that I might
Well,
want?
maybe you say,
Yeah.
listen, I was on the fence about buying Black Ops 3, but I know that in 6 months, even if I don't like the game, they're going to have mod tools, and so that'll be cool. And maybe you end up buying it. Like maybe that pushes you over the
Maybe.
edge.
It's definitely a maybe, Brandon, but I don't think
I'm
that's
just trying,
actually
I
that's
mean,
putting
I'm
many
just, I'm
people
just
to
trying
see-
to think why they would
Yeah,
like why
yeah.
they would do it at all, why they would announce it now.
Yeah.
It's not really adding up for me, which is why I'm a little
Yeah.
skeptical.
I feel like this isn't.
I don't think
any
this
more
is.
people
I don't think
Black
anything's
Ops
going to
3.
happen because of this.
I
sentence.
personally don't see it happening.
Please remember that this is software development.
There's a good chance that will happen.
Yeah, read
Please-
this sentence.
Yeah,
Scott.
please remember that this is software development. Oh my god! First of all, the tone of this whole thing is so talking
It's
down
written
to
for a
everybody.
Call of Duty player.
Hey, you fucking idiots! Please remember that this is software development. Words that you fucking mongoloids can barely get out of your fucking Cheeto Dorito-filled mouths. So things don't always work out exactly as planned. You Mountain Dew huffing faggots. Sometimes features slip and drop off altogether. Sorry, I'm just trying to read between the lines here. Sometimes features slip or drop
Oh my god.
altogether. Sometimes they get replaced with other more like this little
Yeah.
paragraph here is really
This
really
podcast thing
not
ever.
okay. Like now I'm upset. I wasn't before, but now that I've read this, like it's just so pandering and not even pandering, just kind of like I feel like we're being talked down to, and that this is kind of like nothing that we said here may actually happen, which is they need that out, I guess, if it doesn't happen. But I don't know.
Yeah, I think that. Did you actually read the whole sentence? Because I think
Sorry.
it's so, like
It's
it's
so
so. I feel like it's so calculated, the wording.
Sometimes features slip or drop off altogether. Sometimes they get replaced, this part, with other more awesome features.
Oh
As
my
we hit
God.
I've never heard of a
Or-
feature in a video game described as being slipped away. It's like, oh, we lost track of it. It just slipped away. Oh, it's fucking just went through our fingers. Whatever, couldn't grab hold of it.
Gary, did you wear the gloves? Oh, another feature slipped. Sorry,
no,
you lost
sorry.
it. Nope, no mod feature. No mod.
Oh,
tools.
the search and destroy playlist fucking slipped through our fingers. Can't
sort
can't
of-
put it in the game now.
It sort of opens the possibility, like, hey, if this whole thing gets canceled, just know that it's because we're putting more awesome features in instead of this.
Yeah, yeah. And that's what I'm saying. Like to me, like they could come out in in March of next year and be like, "Well, guys, remember what we said in the original post? A lot of features slipped off, but
Mostly
we
all of
have
them.
some new DLC, some new weapons packs.
We have
they were the new awesome features that we found when we lost."
Guys, we actually the modding tools dropped off. We're actually supplementing that with the DLC Season Pass 2.
Season Pass 2.
So, if
don't
you guys want to get on the Black Ops 3 train with me, 5 months
your
into the life
pre-order.
cycle.
Your
Yeah.
Matt tools.
I don't know, man.
Next up, Konami does something fucking totally Konami.
Yes.
Please,
Exactly.
please tell us more, Nick.
Konami reportedly closes the LA studio behind Metal Gear Online. Who thought of this? The company that's been fucking up consistently in the recent past continues to fuck up.
I forgot this game had online.
Yeah. So does this mean?
I haven't played any.
Hey,
of
I've been playing the online. I have about
it seems like not the kind of multiplayer I would like, honestly.
It's really
glad
fun.
I'm glad it exists,
enjoy
but it
it.
seems like not the pace that I want.
It can't be a good sign that this
Are you
studio is
thinking
getting
that,
closed, and like that game just launched.
Yeah.
That and the PC version of it hasn't even been released yet.
Yeah, the PC version of the multiplayer is scheduled to come out in like January, I believe. And so for
Not
them to close
anymore.
the studio,
I think
Ugh.
the PC version of this, maybe it just slips or drops off for Konami.
yeah, they just lost it.
Oh, we lost track of it. Don't have a hold on it anymore.
This
Please
is
enjoy
software
Metal Gear Solid
development,
Slot
after
Machine.
all.
It is. This
That's
is software
true, yeah.
development.
That's
Anything
right.
goes.
We can never forget. We can never forget. As we're in our mines mining coal, and we're doing whatever kind of jobs that they look down upon, or whatever the normal populace does. This is software development. Okay, sure. Like people have flown to the moon and stuff like that, but that does not even come close. That
come on.
involved a little bit of software development to kind of do some of those calculations. But this is Black Ops 3. This is true software development. Don't forget.
Don't forget. Wow.
It's a higher echelon of software.
I really, you know what I want to do now? Like, I think we need to have. I need to do a video of somebody reading that email as it was meant to be read when it was written, with like music behind it, and
He's
People
pouring
laughing
out
in the
poured
background.
on him.
yeah.
His mouth's full of Doritos. He's under a waterfall of Mountain Dew.
When I
don't know.
Software development.
when I try to imagine what the Konami offices look like right now, I think it's just a perimeter that looks very similar to the DMZ between the Koreas. Just like guards incrementally posted around there, and just like there's little trailers where they do negotiations in to get in. And that's Konami. Like, what the fuck are they doing? And why are they doing these things?
They're
No, they recently just said that they're working on the next Metal Gear Solid game without like Kojima, and so I can guarantee in the next couple months we're gonna get either like a Metal Gear mobile game filled with microtransactions or a Metal Gear Solid slot machine like Silent Hill. It's so so
I
make me
think
so mad.
they're gonna revive the Vita. That's what's gonna happen.
God.
With Peace Walker 2!
Oh, oh my god!
Actually, a lot of people would be happy about Peace Walker 2.
Metal Gear Solid 5 basically is Peace Walker 2.
Except worse. Way worse.
That's
Dang.
I wouldn't agree with that.
I see that Brandon added one more thing, which is it was good that you did, or someone did, because this is a good story. We should talk about this. Maybe it was Tim,
I
That's
still
why I
haven't
added it,
finished
yeah.
this.
or I'm sorry, KD.
Oh no!
Who actually added this
Don't
story?
let me continue.
I added it.
Oh, okay, thank
Yeah,
you,
we can
Tim.
delete it.
Life is Strange season 2 or okay, was it actually? It was season 2. Okay, is what they said.
Okay.
Yeah, was announced was that it exists because nobody knew if they were going to be doing anything after it. So I am very happy and very sad about this at the same time. Definitely excited to have more content.
Whoa, this guy's name is Don't Nod. That's a fucking palindrome, dude.
Whoa!
That's the developer's actual studio's name. Yeah.
Better not nod, otherwise they'll cancel Life is Strange 2. Life is
Can I
Strange.
just say-
What's Life is Strange backwards and then, like mirrored? Because that's going to be the sequel's name.
Egnards, Psy.
Egnards. Egnards.
Yeah, Egnards. Egnards, Psy, Ethel. Egnards, Psy, Ethel,
Egnards,
season 2
Seafool?
coming too. Ooh.
I'm excited about this, Katie. Though, are you? I mean,
I don't give a shit about any of those fucking characters in that game.
I've
I
only
do
played
not.
I've only
oh,
played-
I don't care either. I'm just saying to have more.
Oh, for like memes and triggers
Fodder.
and more hot dog
Yeah.
man?
I'm
Yeah,
excited.
yeah. Then I'm
Yeah.
pumped.
Yeah.
Life is Strange changed my life.
The thing is, like, as much as like I like to make fun of Life is Strange, I can tell that the people for the most that actually worked on the game, like they actually tried. Unlike Telltale,
Oh.
who hasn't tried. If you anyway,
Yeah.
I already ranted on this, but the new Minecraft. Oh my
That's-
fucking
but,
god!
I mean,
God
it's just
awful.
It's a choose your own adventure style fucking game. Like they tried. That's all you can really do. If the story pans out, it doesn't pan out.
That's what I'm saying. And they tried in Life is Strange, and they didn't. They Telltale try sometimes, and other times they don't try.
Can I just say that if someone from Don't Nod is listening, like, please create like some kind of clothing line for some of the T-shirts in Life is Strange. Because
Actually, I
some of
would
those-
buy. It's
just
a good,
gold.
They have good T-shirts.
like,
They're
that kid
they're
with-
very meme aware in Life is Strange, which I appreciate. They really
Oh,
are.
yeah.
They're on top of it.
Meme aware. I like that adjective.
Yeah, they get it. Like, so yeah, I'll be looking forward to that. How much was the full? Was it like $24 or $25 for all? The
It was
episodes?
20. It was $20. It was
20
20 for all.
bucks.
Yeah.
So I mean, if you think about the amount of, there was 5 episodes, and they were
Yeah.
anywhere from 3 to 4 to 5 hours if you play really slow.
Yeah.
Like,
Episode
that's a lot of
4.
content for that price. That's the thing I was trying to get at, was that
Yeah, yeah.
for the price, like, it's, I don't know, there was a lot of gameplay. There was a lot of
No,
gameplay.
not like
and everything.
Telltale that will give you 45-minute episodes.
Man, that Minecraft episode 2, 45 minutes. Holy shit!
Yeah.
I can't.
great.
Anyway, I can't talk about it again. I'll get triggered again. But yeah, they're fun.
Yeah. That goes back to like how I feel about the game. Like, it's not particularly like great, but I'd still, for like that amount of game for that value, I would
Yeah,
say
and that's what I always come back
recommend it.
to. And like the whole time I mean, there were parts that kind of dragged here and there, but like for the most part, you're entertained the whole time. Like it's not like filler. I would say maybe the last episode had a little bit of filler, but yeah, you get a
Yeah.
lot of content in the Life is Strange game. So not
God.
too-
Did you have problems with that bottle puzzle? Like one of the earlier episodes?
the bottle puzzle.
Or
Which
like
one was
5
the bottle?
bottles hidden around like the junkyard you have to find.
Oh, you had to fight him? Yes, that took me a while. Yes.
Oh,
to
God.
fight all of them. I got 4, and then the last one, I was like, where the hell is it?
Didn't they like reference that in the 5th episode? Like,
Did they?
make fun of that?
I don't remember.
Oh, I mean, it's kind of spoiler, but
Okay, yeah,
Ah,
let's not do a spoiler cast because there's so many Life is Strange fans in here. We probably should stop.
Instead, let's get upset.
okay.
Let's do it.
get mad.
We were already mad, actually, because of the previous story about Black Ops 3 mod tools, but yeah, we can get mad again.
Let's
Okay.
continue to be mad.
Tell me what I'm mad about, Scott.
You know what the sad thing is I'm not even, the thing is I'm so far, like, having moved and now having FiOS for the last like 4 or 5 months, 6 months, I don't know how long I've lived here, and not having to deal with almost any internet problems. I will say it kind of, like, it didn't melt my rage away, but I got so used to dealing with, how terrible Time Warner was. Obviously this is Comcast, but so what we're talking about is, if you haven't heard, there was leaked documents that basically proves that Comcast's 300 gig data cap that they're started introducing has nothing to do with network congestion and everything to do with fucking you over and making more money.
Well, and this was brought on by the fact that they're rolling it out to new cities.
Right.
So
Exactly.
like they'd done it as like a trial thing in a few markets. They're apparently rolling it out to more markets, and some internal like support documentation leaked that basically says that like the cap is in place for fairness.
Sir,
Not
please
congestion.
say data usage plan, not data cap.
That's right. Yeah, we have to follow the do's and don'ts.
The
of
do's and don'ts.
that leaked. So this basically was the document that leaked was for new employees on the people that you talk to on the phone that you'll never get anywhere with. This is what
Because
read.
they're being given lines.
Right. And when you actually read this and you're like, oh shit, no wonder I can never get anywhere. I mean, it makes sense.
Because
Level one
they will
support.
talk you in circles because they are given things to say when you say things. They
Exactly.
respond like an NPC in World of Warcraft.
You know what I want to leak for? I mean, I don't have a cable provider anymore, but what needs to leak are the words that will instantly get like the supervisor. Like if you can put in a certain code on your phone or whatever, like I don't know, fucking the Contra code or something, and then get like the
To get
highest
your
tier of
support?
support. Yeah, it'll just go right away. You don't have to be like, hey, I've talked to 20 different people today already. Can I just talk to a manager and get a tech out here? Like, because even getting that was like difficult because they're like, did you unplug it yet? Did you restart? Anyway, how was your internet, Nick, in your new place? Is it like decent?
I got a new router modem from them, and I haven't had honestly any issues. At first, the Wi-Fi was sort of spotty, but I haven't had issues for a couple months, and I get my speeds. So
I say
been
Time Warner
working?
and Comcast, which they haven't merged, but they are interchangeable as far as how fucking angry people like them. So
there's nothing even like to discuss about this. It's like we're just getting fucked. That's all it is. Like
just-
I'm
not
I
even
can't
mad,
even
I'm
I
just
can't even
impressed.
muster up anger. It's just like
Yeah.
I'm getting fucked and I can't do anything about it, which it seems like this shouldn't be legal, and it seems totally fucking immoral and shitty. But like, what are you gonna do? When I live in an area where Time Warner cable is the only option, and if Time Warner wanted to do this, I would have to pay the extra $30 a month because between my personal use and my job, I fucking soak up internet. So I'm like, I would if I was under this, I would 100% be paying.
I
Paying.
think that's the thing that
$30.
makes me upset is that 300 gigs is not a lot.
Imagine if you have a roommate and you're a normal person, you get a 300 gigs so fucking
Like
fast.
300 gigs, I can use 300 gigs as being the only person in the apartment or having like one other
Yeah,
person.
so quick.
If you have like a connection that say a family uses, like 4, 5, 6 people,
Yeah.
300 gigs is nothing.
If you're family of fucking 4, one of your kids is a gamer, downloads Halo 5, it's fucking 50 gigs plus the 9 gig fucking patch. Like,
So
there's the
my
sixth of your monthly
ISP
internet.
My ISP like lets us track what like our data is and everything like that. And when all of us were on our internet line with it, there were 6 of us in the house. Everyone watched Netflix, did everything you could think of streaming wise. We hit 2 terabytes in 1 month with 6 of us of just data being streamed. I was streaming, and then they were watching Netflix and all that stuff. We hit 2 terabytes pretty easy in 1 month. And
Yeah, it's so.
with a 300 gigabyte cap, with I think it's like $50 every 10 gigabytes after that is what they said.
It's
Their
not-
pricing
it's
is
not a cap
ridiculous.
because you can use more. You just have
You'll
to
just get
pay
charged.
$10 for every 50 gigs. That is obscene.
Like, they
Yeah.
know, they know that that's like not a lot too, and that sucks. It's like anybody, normal people can go over 300 if you just watch movies or use streaming services or
That's the-
anything
that's
that
the thing
anybody
that
else
I-
normally uses.
That's the thing that I hate is that 300 gigs, it may seem adequate for a lot of people today, like normal families, if you could be under it for normal casual users, but in 3-4 years or even sooner than that, if you're streaming high definition video, if you're downloading even a game, right? Like it's not inconceivable in the next 4 or 5 years that games could be a few hundred gigs.
Yeah,
It's true.
we're definitely
Yeah.
getting. I mean, we're
We're
definitely
fucked.
getting there.
We're
Yeah,
fucked.
And they
definitely getting there.
they see it as like people aren't watching cable television anymore. Like for the most part, like that's dying off real quick. People are watching stuff online, so this is their way. And people are canceling their cable, so this is their way to get their money from people canceling their cable. They're like, oh, well, if you're gonna keep watching Netflix or any sort of live streaming service, we're gonna charge you for the cash that you're using up that data for, which sucks, but that's them doing what they gotta do.
Every time something like
Do
this
they?
comes
Do they
up,
have
I
to?
just-
Yeah. You know what? They're fucking hurting, dude. That if I think of companies that are hurting, it's Comcast and Time Warner Cable, man. really reasonable prices for the service that you get.
Yeah. Yeah.
And we're definitely, you know, as a nation, we're definitely way ahead of like a lot of the other European countries when it comes to internet infrastructure. So
Yeah,
yeah,
I
you're
think
right.
we can
as a
afford to just rest for a bit.
I'm really happy to support them.
Yeah,
As-
you know what?
as a returning customer to Time Warner, I would be happy to fork over an extra $30 for fucking absolutely no reason. I think it would be my pleasure to give you $30 more when there's technically no reason for me to be charged more money.
You know, and there's some interest. I don't know. I can't say that Comcast or Time Warner don't do this, and because maybe they do. But if I was on their social media and stuff like that, and knew kind of the distrust and how angry people are with them, like why are they not like at the forefront of like sponsoring like charities like Extra Life? Maybe they are. I don't want to say
Yeah.
they aren't. Or gaming or like even gaming competitions, or like to me like they need to have somebody like get at the
Imagine
helm
like what a
that gets
swing,
it and just
a
starts
swing
throwing money at
they
at
could
things.
have if they stopped being garbage.
Yeah,
It would be
I mean,
so.
honestly.
It wouldn't be difficult. It's just like, hey, don't do these fucking terrible things that are super unnecessary. Be a normal service provider.
and even if they're not going to be, and even if they were still going to do all the stuff behind her back, which I think they would probably still do, at least you could be like, well, man, you know what? They really help these charities or
Yeah.
this gaming related stuff, or like, hey, man, Comcast put up $1 million for this esports tournament for Halo 5. Like, I don't know. I just feel like
I think
and
that just comes back down to the fact that they don't have to.
They
because-
don't have to, and
because
they
there's
don't
so
get
many
it.
areas where they're the only option. So they
That's
don't.
No,
need
you're
to
right.
do
exactly
it.
it. Is they
They
don't
don't
they don't
have
even
to.
care about being seen as evil because like you have no
Yeah.
other choice.
That's true.
They
You
don't even
still
have to worry
you
about
still
their
have to
PR.
pay evil if you want to watch Netflix. At
That's
the end
true.
of the day,
Yeah. That's a good
Well,
point.
I'm mad now.
Yeah. Yeah.
it's yeah.
I've gotten mad.
It was less of a round table and us just like angrily
Fuck them.
trying to bukkake on a voodoo doll of Comcast.
So Katie's in. Why don't you take us through the new releases?
All right, welcome to the new releases. November 10th, we've got StarCraft 2: Legacy of the Void, which I know absolutely nothing about. If someone else wants to take that away.
Nope.
I
Can't help.
Wait.
Can't
There's
fucking help.
a new single player campaign, which is
Oh
what
yeah,
I
you played the last one. You said you liked that one.
Yeah. I think the single player campaigns for the StarCraft expansions have been really good. So I'm actually really looking forward to playing through that single player. And if you play StarCraft 2 online, like basically you will be getting this because
Yeah, it's like
it
you're already
now
checked
like
in.
Heart of the Swarm will not exist in any competitive setting once this is out. So should be good though.
Makes sense.
All right, and also on November 10th, we have
Lovely
Fallout
weather
4.
we're having.
That is yet another game on November 10th, but Fallout 4 is coming on the 10th. But
That's
That's
For
a
me,
little.
Tim-
That's a little indie title without very
Oh,
much
Wait,
advertisement.
has Tim been playing
yeah,
this game?
for Tim and I,
I can talk to you more about this in about 8 hours.
yeah,
So.
for Tim and I,
All right,
released
we'll leave
on
the.
November
We're just
2nd.
gonna wait here, and we will not turn the stream off for the next 8 hours. We're not just sit in silence until
Right.
Tim can talk about Fallout 4.
Not myself, who also.
Can I just say with the Fallout
Let me just say-
reveal? Let me tell you, man, I'm so excited. The lip syncing just exceptional and facial
Oh, God.
movement so good. Really
I
excited
wish
for
I could
it.
comment on it, but
I haven't seen it. I'm not watched.
I'm
it.
just trying to bait both of them to break their embargo here because
Let me
yeah.
see.
So
Is Brad
how is it,
watching?
guys?
We don't have opinions. No, we don't have opinions.
I know. I'm kidding.
Don't give.
all I can say is that
I don't have.
it-
I don't have any opinion because I haven't played it.
I can feel Brad's heart
Yeah,
palpitating
he's like-
right now.
Just breathing
I have not
heavily.
played
Yeah,
The
also,
official opinions
after
will
that-
be out tomorrow. Yes.
So after that, also on November 10th, we have a game called Lovely Weather We're Having. It looks like one of those games. It looks very odd. It's
One of those
description
games.
of this game.
It's 2015.
No, well,
you
once
fucking bitch. You can't say those games. Also, I just called you a bitch, so that counteracts.
Wow.
all right.
Sort of counteracts
Thank you.
what I was going for. Yeah, what the
Well-
fuck? This game looks like
Yeah, it looks.
somebody had Play-Doh and was on acid and was like, let's make a video game.
That's exactly what that is. I also want to say that one of the trailers for the game is the creator dubbed over an episode of Ellen and edited in like the character of the video game and to kind of like to be like a show of Ellen, which might go down as one of the best. I don't know if they paid any kind of copyright for
I
that.
feel like that's not legal. That's
Yeah.
pretty.
No, I don't think so.
I don't think Ellen gave the okay on
Yeah.
that
I'm
trailer.
thinking, oh, what the fuck? But yeah, it comes out on the 10th. It looks like I'm gonna read the description here. It says it's a goal-free explorer. By the way, this is riddled with bad spelling, like intentionally bad spelling, like you are. That it's a game that you like explore around, and the game like responds to your local weather. And apparently, the NPCs will say different things, and
Wait!
its goal.
This sounds like
Like-
every awkward social interaction I've ever had. It's like, oh, man, the weather.
Wow.
Can't believe it's been
That's-
so hot. Oh,
Every
man.
single transaction
Yeah.
I have at fucking work.
Fuck. Yeah, it's like it's every time I'm at the grocery store with my cashier. I'm like, fucking, it's been so hot here, man. It's crazy.
That's the game.
Mm,
Just have to
man,
say that.
Really
Really know you're
could,
talking about the game.
man, this drought, man.
I
Could really
like,
use
I
some
like
water
that
here.
on the feature list. The first one is responds to local weather data, simulates actually being outside.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It also says
In case
Designed
you didn't
with-
understand what that meant, it simulates actually being outside.
designed with introverts in mind. Designed to be played in 10 to 20 minute bursts endlessly.
I
Yeah, it looks like a
you know,
very
we're really to the point now
interesting.
where anybody can make. I'm not saying that this is the case, right? But anybody can make a game, and now if you put it under parody or walking simulator or whatever else, I'm not saying that that means this game won't be good or have an audience in some way, but like what? Like, come on! Like, rocks you can kick is one of the features. A top secret cheat code with cheat code spaced out to double space. Like, I mean, is it it?
The game is definitely memeing a bit before it's even
Yes.
released.
I
That
get
open
it. Yeah,
gameplay
I get it. But
forever.
how much is it? Is this? Did you say?
There's
How much is it?
12 whole
no
NPCs.
price.
We
No
don't know
price has
yet.
been shown yet, but I wouldn't pay
If
more.
it's a
than
free
$30.
game and it's sort of jokey, even like it's like a couple dollars and it's
If
sort
it's a
of,
free
yeah.
game, I have no problem. But, I mean, I guess if you know that it's a joke, I don't know.
So
It's
are you
starting to
going
get old.
stream
Like,
this?
there's so many of these now. It's just getting ridiculous.
One of the
Now, I know you
genres
play-
it's under is simulation.
it's
Like,
simulating
really?
weather.
Yeah.
Side.
Simulating weather. Also, in the description on Steam, the first sentence spells you are
Yeah.
Yeah.
to your local weather. Your
It's definitely memeing. I
What
mean,
are
it quotes
you gonna
someone
do?
on Reddit who says, "Watch the trailer," and I have no idea what the game is about. That's one of their quotes that they've selected. So, all right.
ha.
I guess I just have to be in the mood, and right now I literally, when I look for new stuff to play, I go through these pages, and
I'm
I come
never
across
in the
games
mood
like this.
for these kinds of games. Honestly,
Yeah, it's pretty rare.
Like, do I want to play Goat Simulator? I'm sure the meme is sort of no. It's actually not. No, I'm gonna pass on this joke game.
So this next, that's lovely weather we're having comes out on.
Hey, what's the one where you do the toast and it's a toaster?
Oh,
I
yeah.
am
Toast
bread.
Simulator.
I'm bread. Oh,
I am bread.
That's a
Oh, man.
fucking. You're a piece of bread. The internet's so random.
That's
good.
That's pretty bad.
So fucking random, dude.
Well, the next game is this. It's the same kind of anyone can make a game, but in a completely different kind of tone. It's called The Purring Quest. Now, it's a platformer. You play as a cat. I'm
Well,
just
I'm
gonna
in
read
just
the
because you
description.
play as a cat, and the art style
Yeah.
is kind of cool looking.
Well, I'm
It looks.
listen to this
I mean, it looks
description.
pretty
Please-
fucking
please read the
straightforward.
description.
Yeah, I'm gonna read this. This is exactly how it's typed. It's, have you ever wanted to be a cat? You will be able, thanks to the adventure platformer, The Purring Quest. Take on the role of Kimchi the cat and meet famous cat of the internet in a journey full of humor.
Yes.
You know who names
Alright.
their? You know who names their cat Kimchi?
AJ?
Fucking white people. That's something that white people do. Fucking naming their cat Kimchi.
All
Jesus.
right. Some of the key features.
I'm sold on
include-
this. I'm sold on this because there's a screenshot of a cat with a bow tie,
Yeah.
and he looks wise. He looks like he might be like the cat character that you level up your abilities at.
Some of these key features say, find the caged kitties and unmask the evil one, and it's committed with a social cause.
Which I don't. Maybe it's like
Is
gonna
there
be
cat
pushing
social justice?
adoption or something for cats. I don't know.
It's got a message, yeah. So yeah, the Purring Quest, $29.99, releases on November 20th.
Holy
How much?
I'm kidding, I'm kidding, I'm kidding.
Sorry, wait, what? Say that again?
No. There's no price at the moment, but yeah, it comes out.
Okay, a percentage of profits goes directly to animal welfare associations. So that's how they're saying that it's
good.
committed to a cause.
Okay, that's cool.
So in addition to enjoying the game, you are contributing to a good cause. Okay.
Oh wait,
Well,
really? Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, it says that in the underneath. But
I see.
to me, this still looks like it has more promise than the previous game that we looked at, even though it's, I don't know.
That's not saying much.
See what I mean?
Maybe
How
I'm-
like anyone can make a game, like people who want to make a meme and people who don't know proper English. Like anyone can. Pick
To
up
me,
a
this
computer.
he definitely put that into a translator and then just pasted that in, like on Google.
Yeah.
For sure. Which I mean, when I go on the Japanese hentai forums, I have to. Anyway, I'm sure that's how I look when I try to put in my English responses and I translate it to Japanese and I paste it and I'm like, at what point in this do the tentacles start? And anyway,
We won't go into them, but there are a fair amount of dating sims releasing this week, so watch out for those.
God.
Very exciting.
I'm sure we have some
left that out.
listeners. But yeah, that's it for the new releases for this week.
Sounds good.
All right.
Thank you, Katie.
You're welcome. It's my pleasure.
Should we just roll right into the viewer questions?
Let's
Scott?
just do it. Let's just do it.
Let's go, baby.
All right. First one comes from @Sternfaced, who asks, "What IP would you like to have seen a legitimate esports scene come out of?" Now, I assume he's talking about like an older game that sort of is now past its prime and doesn't have this opportunity anymore.
SpongeBob SquarePants Battle for Bikini Bottom.
Fucking damn it. I'm going
It's a competitive.
Shadowrun is my actual answer.
God.
I really like Shadowrun. And it had a small run for a little while between the Halo games. There was a competitive scene on MLG for it.
That's a decent answer.
That game is good. I will fight someone to the death about it. Maybe I will lose my life.
I took this as a game that so I guess this is I took this as games that never actually had a competitive scene that you want to have a competitive scene, but that might not be totally true.
Yeah, no, I think that's sort of the point of the question is like a game that you wish would have had a legitimate scene, for its time.
Metal Gear Solid Online. Those hopes are
Still has a
crushed.
chance.
don't know if
Nope,
it'd be
it's
very
still under
competitive.
Konami, so no, it's pretty much gone.
Sonic Adventure 2 had like a multiplayer when you would like race each other, and I played that a lot when I was younger with like friends of mine. And I always thought that if two people were really good at the game, it would be really entertaining to watch. But I think did you guys play the Crysis 2 multiplayer? I thought that was
Yeah.
like some pretty solid. multiplayer.
Yeah,
on
I
Xbox.
liked both Crysis 2 and Crysis 3 multiplayers.
Yeah,
I think I did prefer 2 better though.
yeah, me too. But yeah, I could see that. That'd be fun to watch competitively.
There's room in there for it. You could change some settings and whatnot.
Yeah, and there's stuff with like the energy management with like the
Yeah.
shield.
It's interesting. Yeah, that's a good one too. I like that one.
Back in 2000, I was really huge in the Medal of Honor Underground on the PlayStation 1.
Honestly,
The split screen multiplayer on that, I used to play against my buddies and my brother all the time, and it was fucking. Before the DualShock controller and shit, and controlling a first-person shooter with the original PlayStation controller is so fucking terrible. But it was fun.
For a little while there, it was like Medal of Honor and Call of Duty going back to back. So honestly, like in an alternate universe, Medal of Honor would have been the one that's popular.
Yeah,
Like that totally could have been an option.
I mean, I played a bunch of Allied Assault, obviously, like you guys did.
Clearly,
So-
Medal of Honor
yeah.
took enough missteps to.
One thing I see on here is Jedi Academy. That would have been an insane game with the lightsaber, just dual servers they had in that game. That could have taken off.
Mhm.
Real
That's actually
big.
that's a pretty good answer.
That whole series is amazing.
I'm not sure what I would say because
Unreal Championship 2: The Leandri Conflict.
Did you just look it up?
No, I love that game. Scott played it. That's the Unreal one where you can go third person, and it's on.
Yeah,
console.
that one is pretty. It's
I like that game
surprisingly not
too.
terrible.
I like that game.
But then Nick would just shit on me and then be like, "Ha!" And I'm like, "How
Yeah, 'cause
many
I would
hours
play-
of this did you
like
actually
a
play?"
fucking lot.
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 Like, Jesus. Yeah. I can't.
I'm
I'll
not
say
sure
it
what
for
my-
Brandon. I'll say it for Brandon. Travis said.
Well, so that's the hard part for me is I'm not sure.
I don't know if that qualifies, honestly.
Yeah, I don't
'cause
know if-
there was a scene. It was semi-established.
Yeah,
I think that's the category that I would put it under.
yeah, because like it's hard to know. It's hard to know like whether old games qualify. Like a game like Enemy Territory or Medal of Honor, Allied Assault, like old games that I used to play that at the time they had kind of a ladder scene, which was like the sort of the precursor to esports.
Yeah.
So I don't, I think they
Yeah,
were
and
like legitimate for their time.
In
But-
that case, like Shadowrun, it did have a short run. So
Yeah.
I don't even know if that technically is.
But like that's the thing is back then, almost every game had
Yeah, for a little
TWL
while.
ladder.
Yeah, you would have little spurts of a game, then a new game. You'd be like,
Yeah.
okay, let's play this.
So this is actually that's hard because the games that I would choose had sort of a scene, but I guess I don't know if they were necessarily legitimate. I would have loved to see
Yeah,
them
not
flourish.
in the tier that like the big names would be at the time.
Yeah. I
I'm
feel like
seeing
it,
Nidhogg in chat.
Yeah.
Nidhogg would be insane if it actually worked properly online.
when I
And the
think,
developers
Oh,
gave
does
a
that-
shit
does it-
about it.
Does it have issues playing online? Is that the whole
It's
thing?
just like that. You need such precision timing with it. It
Yeah.
just won't
Yeah.
work online.
God, they could have done so much with Nidhogg.
Put Nidhogg out of Evo. Honestly,
Four maps.
that's
They
not
could have done
honestly,
different
that's a good
weapons.
idea actually.
Honestly, like it doesn't.
Pretty sure
Like,
a
don't
side
even make
tournament
it,
of it or
don't
whatever.
make it. Yeah, just make a small little thing for Nidhogg. Like that'd be fun.
Put on a CRT.
Yeah, do it. God damn,
Yeah.
I should be directing Evo. Where are my credits at?
So next question, also a game-related question, from the Stacked Deck on Twitter, asks if you could take a modern game engine and use it to make an old game. He says before 2005. What engine and game would it be?
For a while I thought like I would want to use like the Dark Souls or Bloodborne engine to make like something like one of the old Zelda games, but
Oh, you
from
want to
that, I
make your game
started
uglier? Cool.
thinking- yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Then that's the engine that you want to use if you want to make your game ugly.
All right. Okay. No, it's just I think about it more like the mechanics transfer over, but that's not the question, so I don't think I'd go with that one.
That's a good
That's
story.
that's a good thing.
God damn it, Nick!
Glad
Good.
we ruled that one out.
Backed out of that horrible decision. You didn't have to commit to it.
Could have made a
That's
great
what I was gonna
mistake.
say.
My gut says like Frostbite or CryEngine for something, but that also like that engine. Those engines aren't necessarily the best for.
Yeah, that sounds pretty fucking dumb.
You can't use those engines universally.
No, you can't.
You can't slander me yet before I actually give my answer, which I don't actually like. I don't have a game like specifically for. I'm gonna go Legend of Zelda with the Dark Souls engine.
That's
Good
an
answer.
interesting choice.
That's,
That's a pretty
Yeah.
good answer.
How
Yeah,
the fuck didn't I think of that?
Man,
Wow.
that's embarrassing.
I'd probably go with Halo 5 with the Halo 2 engine.
I mean,
That's real meta.
man, oh, I didn't even mention the graphics in Halo 5. Like, there's so many pop-ins. It's like, man, the Xbox One, what a beast. There's so many areas where they gave up just to give fucking 60 FPS, which some of the stuff they do is pretty cool in terms of the back end, but it's suffering already.
I would probably remake Metal Gear Solid 1 on the Fox engine
Oh,
That's a good
yes.
Yeah.
if
That'd
I was
be
actually
amazing.
trying to make money. I would do that. But if I just hated life, I would probably do what KZen said. Just Legend of Zelda on Dark Souls engine.
What the fuck is wrong with that answer?
I would do Star Wars Episode 1, the Phantom Menace movie game on the PlayStation 1.
Man,
on
not
the-
even fucking Pod Racer?
No, not the Pod Racer. On the
Are we
on
going
the
back to this fucking game, Scott?
GTA 5 engine. 'Cause it would
Okay,
be
I can
fucking
actually get behind that.
insane. Or like any I'm trying to think of any
Yeah,
like
put
older
any
Star,
open world game on the GTA 5 engine.
Star Wars, yeah, like an open
I'm
world
sure
Star
it's
Wars
actually
game on the
being
GTA
modded.
engine.
Let me
Fuck.
check.
Republic Commando on Frostbite.
Ooh.
Yeah.
That'd be real good if they even just made the sequel to that finally.
I think if anything comes out that related to Republic Commando, it won't be a direct sequel. It'll probably be like
I think it'll
another
be a
Star
reboot.
Wars game. A
Yeah.
full reboot? You think they're gonna do a full reboot for that game? I don't think that like brand is important enough.
It has a very strong like cult following behind it.
Yeah, but
But-
cult followings don't really mean much in terms of numbers. I think if they really wanted to, they would just label it as another Star Wars like military shooter. Like that would be your best bet, honestly. It's just like Star Wars, like fucking Rebellion Commandos. Like have it be like it's like sort of it's the same thing, but it's not. Also, why are we talking about this game?
You know, I would really want to see one of the first 3 like Silent Hills redone on the Fox engine, like from PT. That would be well, that probably
Stop
never
saying
happened.
PT, dude. We know it's dead, man.
I know.
They're not gonna make it's over.
Too soon.
It's all right. We have what is the fan project that they're doing? The search for the name.
Oh God.
Allison Road. Or?
Yeah, Allison Road. Yeah.
Anyway, it looks decent. Let's see if that's good.
You know, I thought about making a video from time to time talking about like what I didn't like about that, because there are a few things that.
No,
I
it's
just
not.
didn't
It's
like
not.
with.
It's not perfect. It's
Yeah,
rough so
yeah.
far.
Like when you hear the "I can see you," I'm like,
Yeah,
really?
It's a really
They
shitty.
just-
That's
this is 2001?
That I can see you. I can tell you is a. I think it's just a sourced like free sound that you can just
Yeah.
get, and that
Has
was
to be.
abused in that terrible,
Oh
legendarily.
no, that's not where that
Uh.
comes. That's from the gassy Mexican when he's in the hidden and he's like, I can smell you. In the Morgan Freeman
dude.
voice.
God damn it.
Every time I see Max, I drive him crazy and I tell him to do the Morgan Freeman voice and hate me.
I can smell you.
Vermicide or whatever, that really terrible Steam game that Mark's done videos on it before.
So,
Gynophobia.
Gynophobia now is what it's called. But
Oh
yeah,
God!
it uses the I can see.
Oh.
It's the same exact one that they use in Allison Road actually, and he just
Oh,
it's
God.
abused and used over and over again. But anyway,
I'm gonna say you said GTA 5 engine, and that piqued my interest to remake the original Toe Jam and Earl.
Ooh,
wow.
Okay.
that would be cool.
Yeah, I like that game a
Okay.
lot.
I want Toe Jam and Earl, but you have Chop. It's the same game, but there's just a dog companion thrown in there for no reason.
So last question from @SorenNP on Twitter asks, would you rather be the smartest man in the world or let every other person in the world be at least as smart as you?
The second
Uh,
one.
I don't want to generally dumb down the entire populace.
Well, no,
So I-
it's basically
No,
you
no,
aren't
no,
dumbing
it's-
people down. You're
it's-
just making them as smart as
Effectively,
you.
Yeah, it's
effectively,
you and up.
it is
I
saying
see,
you
I
are
see.
at the bottom, and
You are the
like,
benchmark.
You are the
You are the-
benchmark, exactly.
You
I
are-
see, I see.
You're the bottom rung on the.
Definitely be the
I'll go with
first
that
one.
one.
No, I'll do, for the greater good. I'll fucking be the village idiot. Yeah, I'll take it. I will wear it.
Huh.
You know what shit we could get done? Like I'm not a fucking I'm not an incredibly bright individual, but there are so many people that are so poorly lit compared to me. On the brightness scale. I mean, there's lots of people that are less lit than I am, so fucking savage. Fucking lit right now.
Oh boy.
I would probably go with
That's a
the
really
second
good
one,
question.
because being the smartest man would just be annoying after probably.
Yeah,
5
it'd be so
minutes.
annoying to have all those great ideas and make millions and millions of dollars implementing things that no one had ever thought
No,
of.
you have to deal with everyone else.
Yeah.
That just, I mean, if we're bringing everyone to the next level, then maybe. But
I'm still, I guess maybe I'm not understanding the question. I don't understand how being the smartest man in the world is such a burden. Why is this such a burden in this question?
I think
Well,
because,
I think the better thing about the second option is everybody else is smarter, and like it's sort of the selfish option. No, you're super smart. Like now you're gonna have
Yeah,
all the
it's the
responsibility.
selfish option, but
If
what
everybody
like you
else
said-
is me and up, like we're gonna get so much shit done compared to right now.
Well,
Because I'm
thing I
gonna
have to
go
remember-
on a limb and say that the general brains for the world, on average, worse than me.
Wow. See, that's very lofty of
bold.
yourself.
I'm not saying
that's-
I'm not saying I'm a huge percentage smarter than everybody else, like the average.
no,
but I'm
you
saying
are.
like
You
a
are
couple
actually
percentage,
exactly
like
saying
a
that.
solid. I am smarter then I'm like 98th percentile.
Wow.
I mean, I can honestly answer that if every other person in the world was at least, I mean, so it means they could be smarter than me though,
Yes.
as
Yeah.
well. Okay.
You're
Okay, in that
basically
case-
raising everyone to your
Yeah.
level, but if they're already above you, then that's where they stay.
Okay, that's fine. For some, I read that second part as like then they wouldn't. Then people that are actual geniuses that developed a lot of the things, like Einstein, if all of a sudden he was at my level and nothing that we actually have in this world would like.
No.
Like
You don't get to bring down the
electricity.
people that are already
Okay.
above you.
Okay, that's fine. As
You don't
long as
get that
that's not
luxury.
happening. But I still want the. I'd still take the
Which
first
I
one.
see would be a huge concern for you.
That would
That would
absolutely
be a lot
be.
of people.
Can you imagine?
Yeah, I think being the smartest man in the world would be a huge burden because everyone, like, no one would live up to your expectations. You would always be disappointed in people.
Also, if you're incredibly smart, like I feel like that would suck the life out of everything because you'd just like be able to break everything down and be like, oh,
You'd have to learn to not.
you
be
basically
that
become Dr.
insufferable-
Manhattan at that point.
Yeah,
You're just like, whatever. Human life is meaningless.
yeah, that's true.
Yeah, I'd make everyone at least as smart as me. I'll give them the gift.
That's
of being,
see, that's a good option too because it leaves it open for people to be on the same level as you.
yeah.
Like you're not like incompetent. You're just like, I guess in the scheme of things, after this change, you would be considered incompetent, but you're not like.
Well, no, I think
You're not primitive.
if you consider yourself, smart and high functioning, then you're just basically saying that becomes the benchmark, and there is no incompetence. I guess
Yeah.
over time you would be
that
considered incompetent,
You would become the new fucking
but
caveman.
that just maybe that wouldn't exist in this new world.
Yeah, because maybe there'll be advancements and everybody can get a little brain chip that they put their little shitty AMD CPU into the back of their head. And it only has 4 cores instead of 8.
It all comes full circle.
Konami shuts down another LA studio. And other articles that were talked about on this podcast.
Way to
Very
tie it all together,
relevant.
Nick. I like it.
Well, so anyway, that is our Twitter questions. You can send us questions each week. We ask for questions before the cast. You can either email them to us at community@kbmod.com or you can tweet at us on Sundays. So the final section here is our iTunes podcast review of
Do
the
not
week.
fucking read the title, please.
I'm not gonna read.
Okay, please don't read that fucking title.
Yeah.
We're going to omit certain details here, but there is a nice haiku this week. But before we get into that, you should leave us a review on the podcast. We would love it if you rate us 5 stars. That is the rating that we want. And if you do rate us 5 stars, we may read your review on the podcast each week. Or rather, we pick one each week. And recently we've been hurting for reviews, so you would have a pretty good chance at being featured if you have not rated us yet. So
Would you say we're hurting for a squirting?
I would not say that. That is not relevant to our podcast.
It sounds so.
review
It
section.
sounds worse when you say it all proper rather than like the shitty like you hurting for a squirting. It sounds worse when it's like, are you hurting for a squirting?
God damn it.
Well, when you give it a weird accent, yeah, it sounds even weirder.
Hello, Brandon. I have a. May I ask you a question? Do you have a time, really quick? I just want to know if you are hurting for a squirting.
All right.
Brandon, all right. See you guys next week.
How we got here, but
So, Katie Zen, why don't you read our review for this week? This is by anonymous. The title is anonymous.
Yeah,
It's
we're
not,
not
it's
going to
not appropriate. So,
All right. Well, this review states, Best Poetry Podcast on iTunes. My personal favorite haiku is from Apple Fisherman. That is such an overused one, but it still gets me every time. The haiku is, I secretly long for a night with the barn door. My anus awaits.
wow. Is there a way? I was just thinking. Is there a way you can incorporate this into the game you're making?
Oh,
This haiku.
It could be a secret ending.
There should be, if there's like a cave, there should be a person at the entrance, and then before that you enter the
Yeah.
cave, something it reads off this poem.
That would
Yeah.
be really good.
All right. It's going in.
Like this will be the Mount Moon of Barndorf.
Or it's
West.
like a, or you have to fill in like the missing word or words for it. So you have to, my what awaits.
Oh.
Something, fill it in.
So if you're a listener,
Yeah, then you would
you
know
get
what it
access
is.
in.
Otherwise, you can't progress.
okay,
That's
okay.
very meta.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
You should be making this game, APL.
Listen, man. You know what?
You
Dabbled
should
in
be-
enough game development.
No,
You
he should
saw
be
how-
writing the Prima strategy guide.
the Freeman.
Oh,
do people
yes.
still? Speaking of that, do people still buy that? Like, do they still make those?
I don't even know if they probably get
I know-
made in
There
small
was
amounts.
a Prima booth at BlizzCon.
Let me
Was there really?
actually
I
That's-
didn't
check
see
real quick.
anyone there. But
Yeah, to be expected.
Man,
I don't buy the Primo ones, but some of the strategy guides, like for Dark Souls or Bloodborne, that are like the hardcover, like 500 pages interview with the developer. I still buy those. Like I don't use it for a guide, just for the extra
I don't
stuff.
think this is Prima. This Witcher
Even
3 one I
when
have.
like strategy guides were the shit, I never wanted a strategy guide because it's like
Oh wait,
you can figure out
ruined
the
it.
shit in the video
not sure
game.
if
Game
I'm
is
gonna read
not
it or
bad.
not.
Yeah. Witcher 3,
Prima
the Wild
official
Hunt.
game guide for the Witcher 3.
Woo!
it's not.
Nice.
The thing is, like they're called
it really nice.
guides.
Well-
It's not a fucking guide.
Oh, I
It's
love that cover.
telling you how to beat the game.
Yeah, the game is supposed to guide itself. You're supposed to play the game the way that it's meant to be played. Like if you need to be handheld.
No,
Yeah,
but Nick,
that's
if you
every
pre-order, no, but if you pre-order, you get the hand cannon early. What
I
the
don't know what
fuck is
that
the
has
problem?
to do. What does that have to do with guides?
No, like ruining the game for you.
Like that's always how I thought it. How I felt it was though. It was ruining. It's ruining the experience essentially. I understand like if you're stuck at a section, then I just go to GameFAQs and I look up whatever level I'm on, and I'm like, okay, I really can't get past this. But I'm not going to have a guide where I'm literally referencing like from like. I'm sorry, but if you're one of those gamers who back in the day had the Prima strategy guide and bought that like with your game, and you're like in chapter 1 of like
You're
the
going
tutorial
page
level,
by page with
and you're like, okay,
God.
second, okay, I can expect the tutorial
Oh, oh.
next. Like, come
This
on.
reads about cloud. I'm not ready to use cloud yet. What level am I?
Yeah, like I don't know. And maybe some people. I don't know. I never was one of those people.
I feel like Prima Games should just adopt a new kind of strategy guide where it's just NeoGAF forms, and that's like of people asking their questions about the game.
There's just screenshots of NeoGAF in a hardcover book.
Yeah,
That's what they decided to do.
yeah, yeah.
Let's do it. Yeah, might be smarter. All right. Well, I think that's episode 213. Thanks for hanging with us, everybody, and we'll be back next week with episode 214. That's what comes after 213. At least last time I did the math.
And make sure
I
you
can
see
confirm that
Fallout
is
4
true.
content.
Sorry. Yes, exactly. Yes. Tomorrow. What time does that content go up? Do we know yet? Or
8 a.m.
comes out-
Eastern.
okay. 8 a.m. Eastern.
2017.
If you're listening to the audio version, it's already up. You can just go
Yes.
gorge yourself.
Gorge.
Wow.
Yeah.
Gorge on,
Solid, useful
gorge on our
word.
fucking content, bro. You're fucking welcome. Mod tools coming to Black Ops 3. You're fucking welcome, dude. Now gorge on our fat Fallout 4.
Gag on it, man. Yeah.
Fucking gag on it. That's right. Fucking, that's what buds do. Fucking frat brothers for life. Just fucking gorge on my content, brother.
There's no way you can fit this whole fleshed out review in your mouth, man. It's huge.
Fuck yeah, dude. Fuck yeah, dude. Don't look me in the eyes, though. Just fucking gorge. Fucking gorging. Keep gorging until you've fucking consumed all the fucking Fallout 4 content. And then in 5 months, when you think you've done all the gorging you can, fucking map tools, dude. Ready? 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 Because that shit's only in alpha, and you'll be fucking working on this fucking mod tools until it's out of fucking alpha, dude. Just keep shoving it in your mouth.
Oh, no. Oh, all
Fucking
right.
kiss me. I'm not like that.
Oh, all right. Well, see you guys next week. Farewell.
So bad for my neighbor.
Nick?
Oh yeah, yeah. Sorry.